Right. So, last time was a shopping episode, but
Shopping.
shopping had a bunch of fun with Heathcliff's, and then sort of the idea of, also there, you stayed in like a nice inn and stuff and had some drinks and things like that, but it was largely inconsequential. Um, you did some shopping and you were told, think about, what you need to do next, because you are still here to do the thing you came here for, to get the item you came here for, and you've still only got really got the lead that it is in the ownership, under the control of an extremely powerful merchant lord, an Oni named Estevan. Perhaps the biggest merchant lord in the entire city of Sigil. One that Heathcliff even said, he entertained the ideas of doing business with him, essentially. He did not go into business with Estevan, but there were distinct discussions between the two of them. But rewinding even before that, in your escape from the hells, when Klaus sat upon Asmodeus' throne of lies, and Vecna poured through him and joined the fight, as there was an incredible display of power in the skies above you, as Vecna and Zariel and Burnish and Green Lady, everything, all this stuff was fucking going off up there. It would have been pretty cool in a visual form, but in a D&D description game, it's kind of lame. So,
It was cool.
Vecna,
My theater of the mind has a shoestring budget.
Yeah, exactly. So Vecna, obviously you failed your charisma save. Vecna entirely inhabited you. It did kind of, really, really turn the tide to get, the soul back. Vince True Cloud soul, you were able to finally get it back as wrest control from it, break the chains, and get the hell out. Returning Sigil. So, at the end of that, you were not transported back to Sigil. You were whisked away, buried into a citadel of gray ash. Let me down this drink real
Very
fast.
familiar.
You stand before a mighty throne, strangely amorphous and at the same time seemingly structured. You look behind you expecting to see the Redeemer's shadow, but it is not there. Instead, he stands fully formed and fully intact beside you, almost shocked himself at this sight of, being back into his fully corporeal form. And it seems like you wait an eternity in silence. And your sort of anxiety slowly begins to sort of slip away. And as you get sort of almost slightly comfortable, you hear a voice that seems to whisper from all around you. A voice that simply says, "Oh, my champion." And the ash in the sort of waving ashy throne, almost like ash, begins to form into it, taking a humanoid form. An emaciated, sort of baleful, disgusting form. Form you're quite familiar with, that of once humankin, the Lich Vecna. a wave of fear and dread just kind of washes over you as this sort of regal form sits leaning slightly forward in his chair, hands resting on long flowing purple robes that flow down his body. His sort of pinkish light eyes glow as he smiles with cracked, dry, undead lips, revealing blackened and browned teeth beneath a purpley maw, or sort of in a purpley maw. And he says, "You've been doing very well, haven't you?"
Well, I can't say that it hasn't been getting easier to harness the power.
That's,
Each time I do it, it's just a little bit more.
that's what power's there for. It's to be used. You've done only as you should.
But at what cost?
What do you mean? What cost? You've pledged
Well, I have a
yourself to me. Just by taking up those weapons. By taking in those eyes.
They weren't originally meant for me. I stole these from people who would do far worse with them.
He sort of cocks his head slightly and says, "If you got them, you took them, and you used them, then they were meant for you."
So what does that mean for me?
He smiles and he says, quite simply, uh, he motions to the Redeemer. He says, quite simply, I've got my eyes on you. And you've been so... we've been gracious enough to continue using my power. I've grown to quite like the increasing influence I've had on that material plane. You have been noticed. Your deeds trickle amongst the ranks, amongst the common folk, and they know who's patron, or the patron that grants you power. Even now, the name Vecna gets whispered, not necessarily as fear, but with awe amongst common men. One starts to follow Vecna, 2, and then 4. Even now, thanks to your demonstrations, the word of mouth that spreads amongst people, my power grows as people don't fear me, but they worship me.
There's lots of power in the right death at the right time.
That there is. You, quite simply, will remain my champion, spreading my good name amongst the common folk through your deeds. And in turn, I will continue lending you my powers. I'm proud of you. Finest investment I ever made.
I will use your powers to my end, but If it serves yours well,
Oh,
I
it
have no problem with
does.
that.
It serves my purpose very well. But yeah, he's you going around saving the world as a follower of Vecna, he's getting a good name. Relatively good name. As even now, the common man begins to whisper, not with fear with him, but with awe and reverence. He's getting stronger. That's what you're doing for him. There probably was a time where he would not have been able to take you over. Well, he turns to the Redeemer and he says, "Your soul was lost a long time ago. That's why you're gonna keep my eyes on him." As you can see, one of the Redeemer's eyes starts to glow the same pinkish purple. And he sort of smiles with those cracked teeth. He says, "I'm gonna be keeping an even closer eye on you, boy."
Oh, you're along for the ride now.
With a wave of his hand, you sense a swirling sort of vortex of ash whirl around you and the Redeemer. As the dark ashen ground falls away, you find yourself tumbling through inky blackness until you land with a heavy thud in and amongst the razor vines of Sigil, as you sort of extricate yourself, slicing yourself a bit as you crawl through the sort of darkened black thorny vines. You are in the Hive, a place you only vaguely recognize because you've not been to Sigil for long. Obviously, that's the place with the burning corpse bar and thing like that. And you don't know how long it's been. You don't know how long exactly you've been gone, but you've returned.
Am I with the party?
Nope.
Or am I just stumbling through the town?
You're stumbling through the town, not quite sure where the party is. But like I said, you've been returned knowing that full well that Vecna's pretty happy with the work you're doing. Like, why would they have to soul heist you back? I want you out there in the world, killing shit and spreading the good word.
Yeah. The good word of unspeakable violence.
Yeah. Unspeakable violence has been solving problems for you for,
For quite some time,
for
yeah.
some time now. You arrive in the city of Sigil. Much, I don't know. I don't know how Klaus would feel about that. Whenever you look behind you, you can see the shadow of the Redeemer now has a single sort of glowing purple eye sort of on it.
Oh, like a third eye?
Nope, it's replaced one of his eyes.
Ooh, even cooler.
And that is, once you arrive at the party, that's visible to everyone. That's not something only you can see.
The Redeemer shadows?
Yep.
Damn.
Alright.
So we can see the Redeemer now?
Yeah, his shadow is fully formed. I mean, it still is like a silhouette on the floor, but it's very obviously.
But we can detect it now. Okay.
It's very obviously the Redeemer. Unmistakable silhouette with his wide-brimmed hat and his long, sort of flowing robes. Now a single purplish light that comes out the shadow. In Sigil, that's not that weird. So nobody even pays you like a second glance as you walk down the sort of streets. And you can see that eventually you do find, you hear a somewhat familiar voice that says, "What, are you lost?" As Kylie the Tout is there, sort of eyeing you.
It's not the first time I've been in a blackout, but yeah, can you tell me where I am?
She just sort of looks at you and says, "You're in the hive."
Ah, so if I wanted to go back to the bar with the flaming guy, that would be north, west, east.
She just kind of shakes her head and says, "Come on. I don't usually do much guiding around the city for free, but since we're so close." She leads
I'll
you
buy you a drink.
through the smoldering streets to the smoldering corpse bar. You immediately recognize the pleasant smell of burning flesh in the air. It smells vaguely like pork, actually. As you
It's making
get
me hungry.
close, it does, like I said, it does smell like pork. You arrive in the bar to find that, understandably, the previous bartender, Barkus, was, killed back in the day by Mr. Mistle whenever he was sending a message. Currently, the new bartender owner is Drusilla, the girlfriend of Ignis, the guy that's on fire. The one you talked to about the fact that he, tried to set the hive on fire, and she's the girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you showing me around.
Of course, I keep an eye on things around the hive, and I was hoping that your party would hire me to lead them more around the city, but they departed without me.
Oh, they departed. Do you know where they went to?
She says I could probably find out if you wanted to hire a guide. And she sort of smiles.
I'll give her like, I don't know how much of it. Would I know how much would be a reasonable amount to give her?
Kylie the Tout doesn't work for gold. She works for magic items.
Ah, okay. I do have scrolls.
She'd be willing to take those.
I will give her one of the. I would give her one of my anime dead scrolls.
Okay. She takes it and flips it over, and well, she isn't wildly impressed by it. She sort of shrugs and says, I reckon that's enough for me to find where they went and hunt them down." And she takes the scroll and she turns and she walks out and she says, "I'll try to get back to you in a day or so."
I'll be here drinking.
Save one for me. And she turns and she walks out into the dangerous streets of the hive with a confidence that only someone that's lived in the hive pretty much their whole life could have. Now,
Fucking anime dead.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't need this anymore, you idiot. But, it's useful to her. She's gonna have a whole freaking party of undead just
Hell
walking
yeah.
through the streets. I'm using these undead to clean up the streets of the hive.
Dude, I mean, a zombie raid would be pretty fucking dope, not gonna lie.
Let me see.
Like, can you imagine a bunch of fucking, like, limbless zombies with fucking glow sticks?
Hell
A
yeah.
limbless zombie.
Tries to, like, wave his arm around and, like, it pops off the socket and just falls on the ground.
Alright. Let's see. Alright. So, you, last time, were staying in, or, exploring better accommodations than the smoldering corpse. You even made your way to some of the finest accommodations in, the entirety of Sigil, making your way to the ladies' ward and staying in the Fortune's Wheel, the Dragon's Den. And you had a nice night there. Had some strong drinks, a little bit of I don't think anybody took the fermented goat's milk and honey, but that was one of the drinks that was on tap there, and had a nice night. Got some magic items, that sort of thing. What would the party have been doing over the past couple days?
Venta would be drinking profusely.
That's fair.
Probably try and figure out more information about the what you call it guy.
The Oni, yeah, we do that
Yeah.
in planning.
Probably a fair idea. Estevan is definitely what you're there for. That's not what I'll bring up. All right. How exactly would you like? What would you like to do to start looking into Estevan?
I mean, I know we talked about we could talk to Heathcliff, so that I'd probably start there and just try and learn anything he had first.
All right.
I mean, do you want to go scout them out, and I'll go talk to Heathcliff or something like that?
I could.
Since
Yeah,
you are
I'll
a
also do that.
sneaky boy.
Yeah, I can try. Do I know where his like setup is?
You can probably figure that out. It's the type of place that it wouldn't be too hard to ask around about, considering it'd be reasonably common knowledge amongst people in the sort of merchant wards.
Yeah.
So it would definitely not be too hard to find.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go do that then.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Yeah, I'll go talk to Heathcliff and see if he's doing that one.
Oh, yeah. It's no problem.
I just got back. I'm sorry.
We're deciding how we are going to tackle the Oni dude, and we're getting information. So
Well, technically, we're spending a couple days doing
Yeah.
stuff. Ideally,
before
we're
that.
working on that.
Find stuff.
And this is all stuff that's been going on in like the meantime while I've been gone, right?
yeah,
Yes.
I assume so.
All right.
So Cody, I'm talking to Heathcliff, and Nick is gonna go scout out the dude's compound or whatever.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll go with some I'm trying to think where I would want to go.
If you want to go and do something else in the city, you can while they're working on that. It's a big city.
Oh, is Klaus
Klaus has
Oh,
not
he's not
rejoined
back.
you yet.
He's not back.
okay?
Back
All
yet.
Colin, so not quite sure exactly what I need, but I'd want to be making sure that I have the proper stuff for a certain ritual ceremony, as it were.
Okay. You want the the monk ceremony you were taught?
Yeah.
For you, the because it's a tea ceremony, that's mostly tea. Make sure
You know what?
there's-
I would ask Reed if I could accompany him on that.
It's 25 gold pieces worth of tea.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot,
yeah,
T.
because I just want to make sure that I have
My goddamn tea.
what's actually needed for the ceremony.
Yep. The tea replaces the powdered silver, so there's a lot more
But,
tea than powdered silver.
But Lou, I asked if actually if I
Yeah.
could accompany Reed on that.
If you would like to join me as we do, guess what? More shopping!
Well, also
I would be
kinda
glad
wanted
to have you along.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to pick his brain too.
About what? Tea?
Tease
Well,
not.
he's gonna do him like the Nazi wizard does with the troll.
I need my notebook.
Oh my god. First off, step into my cave. Second of all, how long does it take for your limbs to grow back? You smooth skins are quite strange about this.
Our limbs don't quite grow back like yours do.
Interesting,
Proven.
interesting.
Do lizard folk actually grow back limbs like some lizards do, like tails?
You will never find out. Kurapika tucks his tail.
Damn, he's got me.
Come on, Grace.
Oh,
There we go. Found the notebook. Alright. We got... Scally. Got Reed and Alec Cool. Shopping.
read and
stuff.
read and
I mean,
Reed and
Reed and
Karakwa.
Karakwa. Shop 14. Alright, anybody else doing anything? Go. Alright, I take that as no.
Nah.
Alright,
What do you mean, yeah?
I said nah.
Oh.
you,
Kick out Venta, he's not helping.
Venta's like happy to be alive. He's drinking everything.
Yeah.
Eating all the food.
Finally.
I forgot what taste was. Alright. Probably most straightforward is going to be Nick. Alec Cool, you understandably are unsure of where exactly Estevan is located. However, he is a very prominent part of this city, and likely, at the very least, people amongst the merchant ward would probably very easily be able to point you in the direction of, if not where he lives, at least where he does business, where his compound is. But let's see, how long will it take? Go ahead and give me. Trying to think. You know what I miss? Streetwise.
Hmm.
You know what else, Colin? All the skills in Pathfinder that tell you about this stuff.
That's true.
True. I'll be rolling a society check.
We do live in a
Pathfinder
society.
2e.
Well, there's also like the skills that let you like
That's
gather
true.
information in cities.
Is gonna be. Oh, I want to be sort of tracking him down. Go ahead and give me either an investigation check or a charisma based survival check.
Charisma-based survival would be, I guess, proficiency plus my charisma.
Yep.
So will be d20 plus 6. Wow. 11.
It takes a while. Most people just kind of brush you off. They do not pay very much attention to you at all. In some ways, it might be fairly comfortable because a lot of times on the material plane, you'll get some weird looks, but here you're just like another guy from the various planes. So the fact that you're a four-armed bug man does not raise a single eyebrow, as most people just kind of walk by you.
Yeah, whatever, nerd.
But eventually, you do at least get a couple people's attention when you ask a ask about Esteban, and sort of where he is. They're almost sort of incredulous as they sort of crack smiles and say, motion towards by far the largest and most garish sort of building amongst the market ward, one that sort of rises up a couple stories over the others. That seems like it's got its own little personal compound.
Damn.
And
Asmodeus is right. This guy can't be tempted by
sort
treasures.
of smiles and he says, "Oh, how'd you miss that?"
Didn't know what I was looking for.
Well, he mostly does his business and lives in there. Of course, nobody really sees him coming and going, but that's where all his business is done.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. As you sort of head there, you can see it is indeed more of like a compound than a single building, as there are 10-foot high stony walls that rise up to separate it from the rest of the rabble of the market ward. You can see within these 10-foot high walls like trees that kind of rise above it that are studded with different colored fruits and nuts and things like that. You can even hear the faint trickle of water from within. There is a single gate of what you can only assume to be some sort of exotic metal, because it does not bear that sort of the hue of cast iron or steel or anything like that. It almost has like a greenish tint. Two guards wearing very scary looking Oni masks, very detailed, stand at attention by the sides of the gate, each of them wielding a large pike. A patrol slowly walks the perimeter of the wall, looking down over it. As you can see, it's a fairly well-protected building. Quite extremely well-protected. Likely with more than just, physical protections. You do see there's a faint shimmer around the walls.
Okay.
Alright, but you do know where he is, and you do know there are some very significant protections. It would be hard to sneak into there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we will go to port and dice of 16.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And alright. Henley, you head to a familiar building, Heathcliff's. Its bright, sort of garish letters blinking against the sort of dinginess of Sigil itself. And as you step inside, you sort of wait for a moment before, and you see sort of Kyle looking at you, expecting you to ask a question, but you sort of wait for patiently, knowing that Heathcliff will quickly be there as he. You hear a voice from behind you says, "Well, welcome back. Here already?"
Yeah, Heathcliff, we need any information on Esteban if you can.
He sort of nods his head and says, "Yeah, I know the guy. Tried to do a little bit of business with him. Didn't quite work out. Very odd sort. Didn't like his style so much. Very paranoid. Very, very paranoid."
Okay.
From what I hear, he only leaves his building maybe once a month.
Why is he paranoid? That paranoid?
He sort of pauses for a second. He says, "Well, fuck if I know. Maybe the Lady of Pain's got it out for him. Other business lords? Tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you. We never got that far in our dealings."
Oh shit. Is he powerful enough to maybe take on Lady of Pain?
No.
And so he...
No.
Maybe he thinks he is.
Look, if he was strong enough to fight taking on the Lady of Pain, we could not fight him.
Maybe he thinks he is, though. He might have a bit of a big head.
There's no way. I think he knows.
Does he know?
After hearing the description of his house, I'm like, he probably a little big headed.
Yeah, but the Lady of Pain could fight Asmodeus.
Look at it this way. I was tempted to join into a business venture with him. He always seems to end up on the right side of deals, you know? Even deals that shouldn't work out for him, he seems to be getting the best out of it. And so there was that temptations, but a lot of times the people he goes into business with kind of get screwed over, so...
Man, yep, that sounds like a devil.
But yeah, he's always seemed to know how deals were going to turn out. Always chose the best ones, and that's how he got as strong as he is, as rich as he is. He's got everything. Well, almost everything. He can't hold a candle to my emporium, but he does have a few choice items I'd really give a lot for.
Such as?
Go on.
Well, there's the artifact that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's ours. Sorry,
pay a
friend.
pretty penny for that. Let's see, what else does he have? There is... It's something I thought would be a good defense mechanism. It's called a tsunami in a jar. You break it...
Damn. Damn!
That's terrifying.
You break it and you cast a tsunami.
Okay. What else does he have?
I'll take 7.
Lots and lots of various mundane magical items. What? A lot of strange things.
Heathcliff, can you provide me with some aid if I can, if I promise you that I'll get what I can from you out of there?
Now that's a business venture I could be interested in. I mean, you've been as good as your word before, and you did work for Heathcliff's, and we're always happy to provide aid to our previous and current employees, except you, Kyle!
Damn it, Kyle.
So I could be persuaded.
Look, I don't know what I can get out of there. So on your end, it's a risky venture, I admit. But I will try my best to get what I can from there.
Alright.
For all I know, he's gonna tsunami in a jar me.
But, if you do so, and you get out, and you get what you can, I get first choice on the magical items. The first 2, at least. First 2.
I can't promise you that, because we need the Scourge.
The first 2, without the Scourge. Very well. Okay, the first 4.
Let me confer with the rest of my friends before I agree to that. We'll come back and let you know.
Of course.
Because I'm not exactly the brains of the group here, if you know what I mean.
Of course, take your time. Like I said, Estevan is a recluse. He lives a solitary sort of life, only leaving the compound every once a month or so.
Heathcliff, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that you can send us to anywhere that we're doing business for you, correct?
That is correct.
Could you send us inside of his compound?
I suppose if I worked out a business deal with him.
So what if you're what if you work out a business deal with us?
A business deal with us? Well...
Yeah, what if we had a business deal to sell within his compound? Could you send us inside of his compound?
I suppose so. Like I said,
well.
that would be official business between Heathcliff's and him, so...
No, I'm saying if you cut him out as the middleman, and you just send us in there to sell.
I doubt that. I don't think he'd be willing to allow entrance.
Oh, well,
and he is pretty fiercely guarded.
Could you try setting up another meeting with him?
I suppose I could.
Alright, well, you get back to me on that one, and I'll get back to you on what me and my party plan on doing.
He snaps his item together and says, "Item heist!"
Oh my god.
Item heist.
Item heist.
It was already an item heist. We're going in there for the Scourge.
That's what it was always going. That was already meant to be that. All right.
Yeah.
You return back to await Heathcliff's. It's gonna take more than like a couple minutes to work out a business deal, but give it a day or so.
Yeah, I figured.
talk to some people, maybe work out a brief meeting between him and Estevan's representatives, and they'll get back to you.
Alright.
Hopefully,
Nicholas,
if
I
he can
appreciate
work out some sort of deal, he can get you at least inside the compound area, although probably not in the main building itself.
That's fine. It still defeats us having to break in.
It's true. Alright, now. Reed and Karakwa.
Mm.
You also end up round about the Merchant's Ward. That's by far the biggest and most bustling marketplace in the entire city of Sigil. And you see races and sort of creatures of all sorts that walk the stony streets. Beautiful garish tents rise up to, in some cases, unbelievable heights. With huge sort of banners flapping, and many with signs that show their wares. Apothecaries that have like mortars and pistols, and clever eye-drawing names to them. As you sort of make your way through the market, looking for, essentially 25 gold pieces worth of tea. You have the pick of the litter in the city. The city of Sigil doesn't, it's got fucking multiplanar teas, so.
We're gonna have some trips.
As you walk, Karakwa, you said you had you wanted to pick the brain of Reed.
Mm-hmm. Mostly, what I want to ask is, how you do these meditations, and you speak with those that are not here when you do so. Or something sort of like that. I don't quite understand, I'm sorry. How do you do that?
Well, when it comes to meditating, it's less about doing and more about not doing. You might be just thinking a bit too much over what I'm performing when I meditate. It's just a way to put yourself at ease and be one with that around you. Much like the way when you speak with your plants. To find that one connection to the nature.
No, not quite in that way is what I mean. Because when I do that, there's an actual physical connection that is there that I can sense and manipulate. What I mean by that, when I ask you this, how do you use what you do to talk to non-physical beings? You have talked to gods before this way. How?
Well, only once really, and that was with the tortoises at the Emerald Isle. To be honest, it's not something that I've been able to control. It's almost a fate that it might happen. Most of the time, when I meditate, it's just me. But sometimes that's all you need, and the answers will come to you themselves.
Rockwood just kind of looks at Reed and just kind of
Sagely
No.
nodding.
I do not understand.
You get it right. No.
just the complete no.
I mean, no one has all the answers. Not me. Sometimes I don't even believe the gods do. Thinking back
God, it's just
over
looking
the
over the next
question
guy's
he
shoulder.
asked, the question he had asked Kellamvor way back when.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Kellamvor?
My God, it's the 4-year throwback.
All right.
But that's basically what Croco wants to pick his brain about. And also, he'd probably be a good person to have around with his historically low nature rolls to make sure that tea leaves you're getting are of the highest quality. So.
That's true.
Dude, he's just looking at all this ridiculous tea and just going like,
All right.
Yep,
they
that's
have them in
tea.
like packets or something. He'd probably just be like,
Yep, that's tea.
Karakwa, someone hands you a nice tea to drink and you drink it. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw against feeble mind.
All right, let's go.
Oh no!
No, you need to make a saving throw against getting Lipton.
No, it's Teeble Mind. Teeble Mind.
oh.
Oh.
That's what it's like.
Actually, a
drinking-
Wheel of Time plot device.
There
that's
you
what
go,
it's like
7.
drink-
You got a 7?
He
Alright.
not in the crowd.
actually critical fail.
I was like, Karakwa is now as autistic as Max.
Come on.
Wait, hold on. Max now or Max like 6 years ago?
I'm only like average autistic, and he critically failed. He has to be worse than me.
It's true.
Yeah, but he
I was
only
like, alright,
just became
Kar-
autistic. You've been
Karak-
autistic your whole life.
Karak, when you get a burrito,
didn't
you
know
just don't
until
eat it. You
this
just
year,
start
or
ripping
last
it
year.
open and eating it.
I start going like
I
this.
don't do that. I eat it like a fucking man.
I know, I
Whenever
called your
there's
girlfriend
someone
more
new-
autistic than you.
Whenever there's someone new nearby that's talking to me, I don't know. I go like this when they speak to me.
I mean, yeah. That feels too real to me.
When I don't like someone, I realize that I go like this. I will look down and to the right and like kind of like furrow my brow. I'm like,
All right.
I just won't look at them.
That's fair.
All right. Honestly, whenever you said that, that made me want to ask the question: why does Bryson look so dumb in all his Facebook pictures?
Because his face is really tiny.
That's because Bryson looks dumb.
Does he have
The
Charlie
answer
Kirk
is really
face?
just there.
The problem is he always looks up.
He has
and
a
to the right.
really yes. He has a really big head with a really tiny face.
He always looks up and to the right, and I'm just like, same fucking picture every time.
Do you have him still on Facebook?
Yeah.
I haven't been friends with Bryson.
I mean,
in,
since I've never,
God,
like,
almost a year
obviously,
now.
I've never like talked
Why
to him in
haven't
the
you
history of
been
the
friends with
world.
Bryson?
the
His-
friend group and myself all had a falling out.
His girlfriend's a
Right.
racist.
Bryson.
yeah.
Bryson's pussy lipped and his girlfriend's a racist.
No, they
What?
broke up. They broke up because she told him don't subscribe to OnlyFans models, and he did exactly that.
Well, that's
That
also
was her one rule.
That's
Well, to be
also
fair,
really
I
sad.
gave
She
him that
said,
same
don't
advice.
use OnlyFans, and he said sure, and then did it anyway.
Hold up. Bryson was being pussy whipped into being racist?
Yes.
but he couldn't
So he
avoid
draws the line at
OnlyFans.
pussy- at
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Oh, and with the other, it was a trio primarily.
Okay,
It was me,
because,
Bryson,
like,
and Matt. And I told Matt to quit
I
gaslighting
only
his
talked
girlfriend.
with that dude for a little bit, but he was the most stereotypical, like, Zoomer, like, I hate to use the word, but like woke, like, kind of person.
Yeah.
Look,
He has like that sort of like you need to be a good white person. That's what they told me.
I'm okay
As
with,
one of the only
I'm
two
okay
people
with
of color
racists.
in the building.
I'm okay with racists, but I draw the line at OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You were racist.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because, like, dude, you can get porn for free anywhere else.
Yeah, you
This-
can Google big boob and get thousands of results. Like
This story is taxing me.
I'll tell you what, I don't even want to look at my Pornhub.
here's the thing,
Research.
his girlfriend wasn't even that hot.
Pussy
Well,
does.
you know, it does
Pussy
weird
does
things.
weird things to a motherfucker, man.
That dude's subscribing on OnlyFans, please. I got a fucking external hard drive that my dad found for free.
Oh
That was
boy,
horrible.
I would say I don't wanna
That
know
you
what was
didn't
on
go
that.
through because you're a coward.
I mean, that's terrifying. You don't know what you're gonna find.
Nah, would have live streamed that shit.
It was just a bunch of folders labeled big
You-
tits in different places.
You live stream that shit and then you get fucking flagged
you
for like
live
child
stream
porn.
It's
the weird.
apparent-
I mean,
The discovery
Lou,
of entire
put on a
smut
list.
Lona.
films.
My uncle gave me an old computer of his, and then I hung out in Connor's garage, and me and Connor and Ryan and I think
Yeah.
Rick looked through my uncle's porn tabs.
remember
We just
that.
had them saved.
Like,
Does
boy,
your uncle have good taste?
No, some of them were like really stupid.
I would say he looks at the forbidden fruit. He looks at the forbidden fruit of Israeli women.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure he really liked Latinas though.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
shit.
I mean, I've always been.
I say I'll blame him.
I've always been inclined to more like the Irish look, but that's fine.
Pussy from the girls.
Is that why you hang out with Connor?
It's true. Connor is my beautiful Irish belle.
Rick, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Oh, my bad. Bryson needs to hang out. Colin needs to date Bryce's ex-girlfriend, so that way they can talk about how much they love white people together.
I don't think she could fucking afford me.
Bryson, here's the thing. Bryson tried to convince her to start an OnlyFans.
I
don't think she did.
Oh my god.
That's one way to make some money. I mean, you can make tons of money.
I thought about.
Well, the thing is she would only be okay with an only white fans.
Oh. I thought about asking Laura to start like an OnlyFans. She could sell like farts in a jar for like $100 a month or something.
I mean, shit.
I mean, yeah.
She could do some weird
I'll
like
do it.
cosplay OnlyFans or something.
Just do like raw audio like cock ratings and shit. I mean, yeah, easy peasy.
She's like, as long as I don't have to show my face, I'm cool with it.
Connor,
Let's
we
go.
decided
Yeah.
that you're my hot Irish girlfriend now.
And then now Cody's gonna be like, when am I gonna be part of the show?
Let me in there.
All right.
Come on.
Reed, however,
Fart in the jar with you.
you're in dev. Are you telling Laura to fart in a jar?
Oh,
Don't look at me like that.
Ask Laura what size jar she'd be willing to fart into.
What's the
What
biggest jar
size?
you're willing to fart into?
What is the size? The game?
Because if it's smaller, it's concentrated.
She said how much?
You know, I just want to
You
point
bet-
out, I
you
know
better
that
be a
you
fair
say that
price
no
right
one
here.
watches
What?
these, but this is still going to be immortalized on the internet when you upload it.
Look, I've got
Okay,
I've got a running tab of the cost of farts in a jar.
Yeah.
Female farts in a jar, obviously. So for like a quart,
Can't be gay
for a
about
quart jar, I'd give $20.
exclusively heterosexual.
$20.
$20
Colin, do
for
you
a
know
quart
that they're
jar.
female farts?
Look, this isn't just like some
Yeah, I
random
can tell.
person on the street.
Are
This
they
is a fart in a
labeled,
jar.
dated, and timed?
This is,
I'm a fart
this is the
connoisseur.
farts-
I can tell the
this is
difference
the
between
farts-
man farts and woman farts.
These are the farts of a married woman with a cushiony
What
job.
about-
okay?
what about
They're not
trans
some
women
homeless
farts,
person's
Colin?
fart in a jar.
I will
Dude.
do $20 for the fart in a quart jar. All right, I'll do
Do
$20
we,
for the fart in the half-gallon jar. There you go.
All right, you supply the jar. I'll talk to Laura about it.
All right.
What about mason jars,
Alright.
Colin? I can
You guys
fart
are
in a
missing
mason
one
jar.
revenue
for you.
stream here. What about the queefs?
Well,
What are we, barbarians?
exactly.
Yes.
We're not fucking weirdos here.
Look, everyone here is afraid of vaginas, so
Can we
that's getting
serve her
weird.
deaf in Lou for like 5 minutes? Take away his talking privileges for a little bit.
Oh my fucking god.
All right. Reed's search for tea is otherwise pretty uneventful. It's like I said, it's not
Jesus
hard.
Christ.
$20.
It's not hard to find. No.
No.
Would you fart in a jar for $20, Cody?
I'll fart in a jar for $20.
I'll fart in a jar for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll do it for free.
Well, your
No,
farts
no.
are not worth that much. I'm sorry.
No, if you're good at it, don't do it for free.
Yeah. The Joker told me that.
That's
It's
true.
true. Why?
He said if you're good at farting in a jar, never do it
Yeah,
for
never
free.
do it for free.
All right, Rick, what are you gonna pay for my
Wait,
trans woman parts?
It's gonna be
in a
real
jar?
awkward when he bends
Nothing,
over.
because you fart on us constantly in the house.
It's
I was
true.
about to say, yeah, Rick should get that shit. Gets that
All
shit.
right, well now every time I fart, you have to pay me.
The house
No,
is
it's not-
the
it's
house
not in a
is the
jar.
fart jar. The house is the fart
Yeah,
jar.
That-
it is a fart jar.
No,
Nick,
because if
Nick-
farts, look, if
Here
your
we go.
farts are sexual acts, then you're sexually
Here we go.
assaulting me all the time.
I got like the changeling. I got like the changeling oath, like thought out right here. Nick's
work,
farts permeates the atmosphere of the house, right? He is then, and they're a gift to you. He is then entitled to all the change left in the couch cushions.
That's not a lot.
In the
None of
future-
us pay with
What
cash.
years?
In the distant
just-
future, someone's gonna own that house, and when they bust down a wall, it's gonna be sniffing his farts.
I'm just saying. Nick,
That is the big brain play. You fart
They're gonna
inside
take the wallpaper.
That's a
Nick
fucking
told
They're
me
gonna
he
take
Scooby
the
was
Doo
gonna-
wallpaper down. It's gonna be like a brown layer.
It's like a Scooby Doo villain. You put stink bombs on the walls,
Oh,
so when they
was
try to
it-
renovate
like,
it,
oh man,
like,
was this a smoker's house?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thin film of doo-doo particles just
The
everywhere.
walls are turning yellow from Nick's farts. Oh my god, like a smoker's house.
Awful. Just
There's like
awful.
little squares where the paintings were, and there's where it's not.
All right.
No, Nick says he's gonna fart at me through a tube. Right,
Nick
okay?
did fart at you through a
Nick is
tube.
weaponized.
I
his
watched him do
sexual
it.
Farts.
I mean,
Well, he
Yeah.
wasn't officially trans at that point, just questioning.
Max,
so
you're
I
always
mean,
trans. Shut up.
shit.
What is
You're telling me that everyone in this orchestra is trans?
Yes,
And
everyone
from
here.
Siberia?
All of us.
Where have
Oh
you
my
been?
god. Jesus fucking Christ.
Max, do you identify as trans smart?
Max
No.
does.
I don't think that's how that works.
I identify as trans-tarded.
Trans target.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
fair.
All right,
I'll
well,
accept that.
we're definitely canceled now.
Oh well, there you go. It was worth it for the joke.
All right.
Did it for the vine.
Yep.
Did it for the vine.
No, it's not the R word. It didn't have no R in it.
I'm gonna make a TikTok of you, Max.
Max, you said tarded. There's an R.
And oh shit!
It's a hard
Right at the
R.
beginning.
It's a hard
Right
R.
at the
You have,
beginning.
you have to say totted like you're from fucking Brooklyn.
Yeah, that'd be the T word technically.
Fucking
Jesus
totted.
Christ.
Everybody in
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Central Park is
I
fucking
don't think
totted.
Lord's gonna help
How much
us.
you willing to pay if I tied it in a jar?
Mm,
You know the
Oh my
best
God.
part of my day? Looking over and helping every day over there. You're fighting in a jar.
Tied in a
I
jar.
want to fucking die.
Same.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
You get your 25 gold pieces worth of tea. It's not hard to find in a city the size of Sigil. You have a heart-to-heart. You talk to Karakwa about religion, meditation.
heart to heart, if you will.
I'm gonna fucking murder you.
And you, like I said, this is what you do during your day, and you sort of reconvene, and you are able to share the ideas, the deals, the information gathered, etc., etc.
Who are you, fucking Max?
Yes. All right. Obviously, you sort of go over, like, I know where Estevan is. He's there. Blah blah blah. Henley, I imagine you tell them about Heathcliff's deal.
Yeah, I tell him about the deal. Both. I tell him both things. One, that if he will help us, he will help us with it if we give him the pick of the first 4 magic items we find, excluding the Scourge. And he would try to strike a deal with him where he could just literally port us into his estate like he did with us in Hell. But we have to get back to him if we want to accept those deals or not. I was about to say, don't everyone speak up at once.
That sounds good to me. That sounds fair. We get what we want. He gets what he wants.
Yeah, but everyone has to be okay with giving up the magic items we get then. That's why I'm
I mean,
asking them.
We
They
can
have to
get
be okay
5,
with
and then
it.
we get to keep 1.
I'm still not there yet, so I don't imagine
Yeah.
I'm ready to
You'll be arriving shortly.
Yeah, so I need the other, like, 5 people to agree to those or not.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
So, he will help us with the heist itself if we give him the pick of the first 4 magic items we get, excluding the Scourge. We have to agree to that one. The other one is he's making a deal with him where they will be business partners, in quotes, so he can just port us directly into his estate.
I mean,
How many items are there expected to be? 4 sounds like a lot.
I don't know. That's why I'm
It's-
asking. So I'm asking
mean,
if you're okay with
He
it.
is literally a merchant lord.
Yeah.
Like
He said-
probably almost as many items as Heathcliff has.
I guess that's
said-
fair.
A
He says
shit
he has a tsunami in a jar.
That's
Cool.
pretty fucking metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I am okay with these, this agreement. To be honest, I don't know how many other magic items I really need nor care for.
More. Karakwa's become addicted to the pleasures of magical items. He wants more.
Korok was actually Paris Hilton from Repo.
He says, "Too bad."
It's all right. Look, Karako, you agree to this, and we'll somehow find a way to get a Mayora fart in a jar.
Sometimes I
Oh
feel
my God.
I feel shamed for liking
Fart
Repo,
heist.
but I do like Repo,
Repo.
the genetic opera.
It's okay.
Oh.
I do like it
yeah.
more than I should.
Yeah, also same. That's pretty
I've
accurate.
seen it once. It was a movie.
I don't
that
think
existed.
I don't think it's good as the Devil's Carnival, but it's good. That is his other work. He did 2 other musicals: the Devil's Carnival and the Devil's Carnival 2, Hallelujah. And the Devil's Carnival I also liked more than Repo. In fact, I used the devil from the Devil's Carnival was Adonis. It was the picture I used because he wore like nice robes and he looked like the devil and he wore face masks and stuff.
Guys, you can't make fun of me about being autistic. It's Autism Awareness Month.
Yeah, we're
Yes, we
aware
can.
you're autistic.
Yeah, we're
Max.
aware of how.
We're deciding on a mascot right now.
Yeah.
Who's we?
How's that going?
Have you just proposed yourself?
The autism subreddit.
Why are you on the autism subreddit?
Isn't that every subreddit?
Isn't everyone on Reddit supposed to be on that subreddit?
I hope their fucking mascot is a helmet.
It's the yippee.
Yeah, it is. It's Yippee.
Jesus Christ.
All right. The
I hope
deal.
that kid's living his best life. That's all. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say his best life collecting disability, drooling onto sheets.
He's like 9.
All right.
Well, we're going to hell.
I
Yeah,
already
there.
live there.
I do too.
All right. You find yourself. I'll say after like you have this day. That's when oh no, Beaver's not here. Oh no.
Damn it.
God damn, I was gonna say Kali the Tout finds you. Says, "Alright, I found where they are." Oh my god, he's back. And he's taking drugs.
Hey, how you gonna ask me?
Spring has sprung, so. Alright.
Also, my fucking cat's starting to shed everywhere.
Kylie the Tout does find you after a day, and she says, I found exactly where they are.
Oh, wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Do you have any other scrolls? Because she says, I can lead you there for a price. Otherwise, I guess you can go there on your own. I can tell you where they are, though.
Yeah, I have another one. I can give her the Yeah, I'll give her the anime dead scroll. I have none of those now.
All right. I mean,
Anime Dead Scrolls.
you can cast that basically for free with your dagger. So
Exactly.
she takes it and she sort of shrugs and says, "Same spell." Oh, well. Oh well.
It's still a very useful one, trust me.
Good enough. If I can't use it, I can sell it. And she does lead you all the way to their inn. You can see it's a very nice inn compared to the smoldering corpse bar and its nearby sort of buildings. The streets here are clean. There's an actual guard present, so you don't feel like you might get mugged in the streets by random dudes. That sort of thing. And the whole time, the Redeemers just now glowing eyes behind you as you walk forward. People even avoid stepping on it, as there is a sort of baleful aura about it.
Does anything happen if someone does step on it?
Roll a perception check.
Ooh. Where the fuck? There it is. It's the perception.
Yep.
23.
If someone steps on it, there is a little tendril of swirling smoke that sort of wraps around their leg and follows them for a little while.
Fucking sweet.
That's it. That's all it does.
That I don't care. That's fucking
That's so cool.
that's dope as shit.
It's but yeah, there's like almost a little piece that follows them and watches them for a while. Redeemer doesn't say anything, but you know, you don't know what he's getting from that. He might just be into it.
It does feel kind of rude, not going to lie.
But Kai the Tout does lead you to the inn. As you step into the common room, you can see it's probably around when everyone is. We'll say it's around when everyone is discussing the business deal, essentially.
Oh, hello guys. How's it been? What have I missed? Anyone
Nothing really.
dead yet? Anyone to kill? Anyone to steal it from?
Both?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. I like that.
Potentially both, or potentially none, I suppose.
I haven't stolen shit in so long. I'm starting to get the itch.
That's herpes. It's crabs.
Gonorrhea.
Vecna crabs. It's just
Oh no.
It's just like tiny little eyes of Vecnas with 8 legs crawling through your hair.
That sounds awful.
Can we mute Colin? Just DM free game for the next 5 minutes.
At this point, the Redeemer's shadow and shade-like form is very, very much apparent and solidly behind him on the floor. A single purpley eye sort of glowing from within it. Now, you discuss the terms of the deal. I think everyone kind of like, all right, that's good enough. Giving up the magic items, that's fine. You don't even know you'll get any magic items except the one, so it could be nothing. Of course, fucking around with Esteban is probably its own good for Heathcliff, considering he's the largest merchant lord in the city. And so, you are fine with that. However, there is he can only get you into the compound area. That doesn't mean the main building. Like I said, you do know that for some reason or another, Esteban is extremely paranoid. He only leaves the compound once per month or so. Heathcliff does not know where he goes. I mean, obviously he goes somewhere, but Heathcliff doesn't know. Heathcliff's, is still a little bit, isolated in his own area in Heathcliff's. So, where he goes to, why he goes, you don't know. But that is the deal that's been worked out. Everybody seems agreeable to it, and so unless you have something to say to Beaver, you retire to your rooms. Move.
Let's
forward.
commit larceny.
You do move forward, and the next day, I imagine you are able to go talk to Heathcliff. He sort of listens intently as you tell him that the deal is fair enough, and you're willing to work with him. And Heathcliff sort of claps his hands together and says, Good, because I have sent out messengers to Esteban. He was pretty eager to meet with me. Who can blame him? I mean, I'm Heathcliff, baby. But, I worked out a tentative deal, to do some business with him. A bit of minor business. agreed to open up a stall for 1 hour. That's what I got. Within his compound, 1 hour, on the weekends.
How long until the weekend?
It's 3 days.
Okay. Well, are we all there?
Everyone could go. They've nothing stopping you from going to visit Heathcliff. He'd
All-
give you all a big old kiss on the cheek and welcome you happily.
I'm checking to make sure that everyone's okay with that one.
Okay, with what? What?
It just
Good
means I have to
night,
steal more
weekend.
shit.
I could send
Oh,
you
yeah.
in on the weekend.
Yeah.
I've got 2 days, 1 hour per day.
Yeah, that's fine then.
It's not like, oh shit, I've got my D&D that day. Sorry.
All right. Fair enough. I'll make sure I get back in touch with him. Until then, you've got 3 days to figure it out, whatever you can, and do whatever you want. You know, make your last will and testament if you go decide to do something crazy.
Your last will and grace.
All right. So you will have a 1 hour period on 2 days within the compound where you're in the very least, you'll get bypass the outer walls. The inner walls, the inner sanctum, obviously that's, you weren't welcomed into there, but the compound itself, the outer walls are by far, the strongest thing to get past, so you will not have to worry about bypassing them. That being said, you have 3 days to prepare to learn about Estevan, that sort of thing. Learn about the compound, stock up on whatever potions you might think you need, or consumables, that sort of thing. I have to pee, so I will let you come up with ideas, and I'm gonna go pee. Get some water.
Item heist.
Same.
No heists! Item kills.
Alright. He's man heists, everyone. It's time for a heist.
We're gonna heist the DM so that way we can do more heists.
He is right down the road. The
Well,
government
you-
doesn't want you to know this, but
You-
you
you
can
could-
take the DM homes.
Mhm.
There's no laws against it.
I think that's kidnapping.
No.
I
he's
have
taking
85
not
DMs at
all.
home.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that's kidnapping.
They have to be.
Don't
people
tell that
for
to the people in my basement.
But he's not a kid.
He's not napping either. Ah, shit. Brits opened over the weekend. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think they're doing like limited hours on the weekends until Memorial Day, and then they're full open.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those lines wrap around the fucking block in like
The
2
longest
hours.
I've ever waited was 3 hours with Laura. 1 year.
It's not even worth that.
But
It was
the
fun.
longest line, I didn't even like. I wasn't even counting the time, but I just remember how long the line was. But the longest I've ever waited was like 2 city blocks.
Damn.
For what?
Brits.
Brits.
It's not
Oh.
worth it.
Mm,
Not
yeah.
that good.
It's just it's not really
Nah.
special so much. It is just seasonal.
It's special in its own sense. I do remember 1 year, Laura actually got interviewed by a radio station while she was in line. They were like, she's like, I'm all the way from St. Louis for Brits. And like, you came all the way from St. Louis for Brits. And she's like, I came all the way from St. Louis for Brits.
But look, I can just nuke Krispy Kreme year round. So like,
Brits is okay.
I like Brits. It's good. It's
Like,
sugar
Max,
and it
That is
Well,
melts.
legitimate blasphemy coming from somebody who is related to the person that started Brits.
Who's related?
I am.
Oh my god.
Oh. I
My
didn't know that.
grandmother's
My
uncle.
grandmother's second cousin, twice
No.
removed.
My grandmother's uncle started it, and then they sold it in like I don't remember what year.
Like, do I think Brits is overhyped? Absolutely.
But it's still
But it's
good.
still pretty good.
They're not even overhyped. They're exactly hyped.
Yeah, they're just hyped.
Yeah,
All right.
They're not from St. Louis. Good.
exactly.
but,
That's what
like,
makes them better.
I'll say that'll be my last hit of the pin. This will be my last beer.
Oh, how's the pen making you feel? Oh, you get a little. You doing a little bit of both? How are you feeling with the pen, Colin?
He's getting crossfaded.
Yeah.
I after the first day, I was like, I know how to limit myself with this because it's a lot strong.
Yeah, you
it's
really
a lot
gotta.
stronger than I expected.
Yeah, you really gotta take it easy with the pens.
How many hits have you done
Very
during the
constricted.
session?
4.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not. It's not. It's still like I don't have any tolerance to it, so it's like
Yeah.
okay.
What's in it? Is it just
If
like
anything,
normal
I've got too
juice?
much
You got
tolerance. I took
something
like 3
extra
bong
in there?
rips when I was gone.
Oh, it's like THC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Was it Gold Coast Clear?
You'd have to ask Max. He got it.
It's is it what?
Gold Coast Clear?
I don't think. No, it's not.
All right. So, like I said, you've worked out the deal. You've got 3 days to essentially gather whatever intel you want. Like I said, you know he's paranoid. You know he goes somewhere once a month. That sort of thing. You know that, he does a lot of dealings with other merchants and things like that. So, you got avenues to go down, essentially. There's also, Klaus's crazy shadow with a glowing eye.
I don't know shit about magic. I don't care.
Yep. It's
You
fine.
know, that might be
Don't
normal.
worry, everything's fine. You don't need to worry about this at all.
Just ignore the glowing eye.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's hunky dory in the hood, guys. Everything's fine.
I just like look past it. I'm like, that's new.
It's like kind of. So you probably wait a day. Hey, what are you doing back, Klaus? It's like, I went for a little adventure.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a little, just a little side trip.
Nothing weird and sussy at all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry at all. It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
So we are gonna get through all the planning this session. So after today, next week will be full on going in. There will be no planning after today. This is gonna take up the 3 days that you have to plan. To learn about Esteban, make any sort of preparations, buy any sort of items, and all of that nonsense. But because next week is gonna be balls to the wall. We're going in.
How much is a
Balls in
ring
your
of
jaws.
fire
Damn it,
resistance?
A ring of
Probably
fire
should be
resistance.
Expensive.
You can you don't have to. We'll say that Aruna can put on runes like shit. She's already put runes of fire resistance on you. They've expired at this point because runes are temporary.
Oh, she can do that again?
But she can keep doing that. She just has to make the
Oh.
rune crafting rolls.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, because if we're going against the devil, he's probably going to use fire.
But yeah, she can upkeep those runes.
That's an assumption you've verbally made in front of your GM. Guess what?
I mean, he
That's the-
also has a tsunami in a jar. I think.
Now
he's gonna
very
use that
fond
too.
of
I mean,
ice.
he likes cool shit. So that's why his
I
tsunami
like-
in the jar.
I like Max's opinion that Esteban just has taste.
I like that. I've just got a dragon.
That makes sense.
Check out this
He's a fucking
dragon.
demon Oni guy.
I've got dragons sitting on my damn desk.
Oh, good, Colin. That's good.
This is
Ooh.
the Jabberwock dragon. So
You can't even
Nice,
see
nice.
anything.
Ooh.
Let me see it.
you can't see
Turn
it.
your
Hold
light on, Colin.
Colin's too stoned. Just
I'm not. I just can't fucking push this damn chair backwards because there's a rug
he's
on
too
the
stoned.
ground.
That's why we can't see it.
See, there's a...
Oh, he like stands up. That's cool.
Yeah, he's like standing
On
up.
2 legs.
Yep. That's the
fucking
Jabberwock
cool.
dragon. So you'll be...
All right.
You'll be the Jabberwock one.
So for real, I get that, Klaus has suddenly returned. Is him acting weird actually noticeable?
I mean, he's not acting weird,
You can see-
actually. It's just you
Yeah, I'm
can
not acting
better
weird. It's-
see.
it's new.
It's now a fully
Yeah.
formed Redeemer. It's a hard silhouette behind him.
Oh no. He's unlocked the hard R.
Oh god.
Ah, yes, he's gone fully tarded.
No, Max is an E-tard.
All right.
Max, you're allowed to use that in public if you want.
It's okay, Max. I identify as retarded.
Max is like, that's our word.
You can't say that. Alright. Now that we're all going to hell.
I mean now.
Yeah, I know, right? What would you like to do over this course of this 3 days? Like I said, Aruna can put on fire resistance runes if you want a fire resistance rune.
Okay.
Wow, way to remove Tommy's player agency.
I want to
I mean,
scout
Tommy
the
removed
guard
his player
alley.
agency by not being
Yeah,
able
by
to
not
be here.
by his shitty internet not working. I swear
I
to
want to
God,
watch guard patrols.
Tommy removed his
and
agency when he
good
moved to
idea.
West Virginia.
that's true.
Mountain Mama.
His voice became silent when he became, his voice became silent when he became a Democrat in West Virginia.
Damn.
Damn.
Now,
Tommy's the reason for Joe Manchin.
it's true. That son of a bitch. Why can't we all vote for Bernie Madoff? 3 days. The
Yeah,
fire-
I'm
but
watching.
I'll roll the
I'm watching
the
guards.
I will roll the rune crafting check for him, so he's it should be fine. You're watching the guards. Okay, we got Klaus watching guards. Klaus is watching guards. What's anybody else doing?
I'm also gonna go watch guards with Klaus.
Gay.
Y'all better
Also,
come back
do
with
they
something dead,
do they
otherwise we're
allow
not-
people in to go shopping?
His compound is not a store.
Okay.
It's basically his.
He's like a
estate.
warehouse in home.
Yeah.
It's the Amazon warehouse of sigil.
Okay.
How horrifying.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
I mean, I guess I'm chilling. I'm sitting with the group, coming up with a plan, acting like I'm helping.
I like that one.
I mean, you've been very helpful at coming up with a plan so far.
Thank you. I try.
I'll say someone wants they can roll like an insight check.
Insight check over what?
I just roll an insight check.
Just do it. Don't ask.
I don't have good wisdom. Somebody with
I'll roll
wise
it, even
boy.
though it's not the best.
Ito's probably got good wisdom. Is Connor here to roll it?
Probably not.
Ito, like, categorically does
I
not
can
have wisdom.
roll it. I got a crit.
That's-
I got a 32.
That's why the Il de Royhan is in debt because he has no wisdom.
I rolled it in.
I mean, that's
in,
true.
In D&D Beyond, but you can check it, Colin.
Most
But I rolled
unwise.
it. 32.
All right. you know, are able to mull over, Estevan and the stuff you've learned about him, and For someone so incredibly powerful, not just, financially, he's also an Oni, which is a fairly powerful demon. A rich and fairly powerful demon. They're usually quite arrogant and not particularly paranoid. So his paranoia is unusual for someone of his kind because of his incredible power. On top of that, he's going somewhere once a month. So his paranoia is unusual for his kind.
While we're here, I want to see if we can try and track him. If he's gonna leave within the next few days.
Okay. That'll definitely be. I'll say, as you're watching guards, you can definitely keep an eye on things like that.
Okay.
Gracie, my love. They're gonna cut your eye hole out next.
Christ.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
They gotta clip the little tumor off her eyeball or her eyelid.
Ouch.
Oh, I thought you meant like her
I
whole
still
eyeball.
don't like that.
I don't either, but like that's a little better than we're cutting your eye.
She got a little growth on her eyelid. They gotta take her off. Hopefully she won't be sick. A good girl. Alright.
That's the nicest I've ever heard Colin be to
I
Gracie.
Who is doing
Wait till he reminds her she's
That's
a dog.
just pity.
Yeah. Wait till I remind you that we're having Korean tacos, so you're up.
Well, I'm offended.
You're not Korean. It's fine.
No, you're Rick.
I don't have to be Korean for that to be offensive.
Does it help though?
Yes, it will.
Cody, I feel persecuted. He, as an Asian, is part of the world majority.
I don't know how to respond to that.
So is Nick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm the true minority here.
So is Max.
Max doesn't count. He doesn't count as a
I feel like
person.
Max is allowed to be a minority after hearing some of his opinions.
Damn.
What?
Damn. Took his privilege away.
I can't be colored now because I like Bionicles? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, basically.
boy, that's a fucking sentence.
We have that on the record, right?
I mean,
What?
it's recorded. If anybody watches this, I think we're all in
What?
trouble. But all right,
Look, the only people who are watching this are people who like Bionicles.
that's
I'm like,
true.
damn, man.
That's true.
I'm really hyperfixated on the MCU my entire life. I've only ever watched it through 4 or 5 times.
All right. Is anybody
Right.
who else is doing what in your daily preparations?
Now I can't be Asian.
No.
Because I like Bionicles.
Damn. Did my man Max dirty.
Max over here dropping the fattest bumper stickers of 2023.
Max's Bionicle gender.
Damn.
I identify as Toa and Toa Self.
I
No,
swear
Max,
to
you
God,
can
if I go to the trans support group again and some motherfucker comes in there saying they identify as Toa and Toa Self, I will legitimately just get up and leave.
Like you should.
Nick, I
That's
still
what
think
he says trans is a scam, and he gets up and leaves.
Nick, I still think you should tell about your pronouns are Scott and Steiner.
No,
Jeez.
I'm not a genetic freak.
All right, is anybody else doing anything with what they get 3 days?
It sounds like it's me and Beaver.
I would like to
Open
pitch
it
someone
up.
looking for points of entry.
All right,
Take me
I
with you.
can't do anything.
Somebody besides me and Beaver could like he said, look for points of entry
Yeah.
or exit.
I'll
No,
do that. I know
I
what
still-
buildings are.
I stick out like a sore thumb.
Not
Do
I
here.
can, I can turn into what's a very
All
normal
right.
looking creature
Well,
around
no,
here.
My
I meant because
God.
I'm massive, not because I'm like abnormal looking.
I'm like 9 feet tall.
Yeah, and I'm more masculine than you.
So, with your
I have
prodigious,
a shadow with like a fucking Naruto.
with your
I stick-
prodigious crit of an insight check, Alec Cool, you realize, of course, while he does only leave once a month, and he does seem incredibly, unusually paranoid, there's no guarantee that, in fact, it's downright unlikely that in the next 3 days he leaves his, compound for his monthly foray out into the world. You just don't know, because obviously you've only got the information he leaves once per month. But likely there are people that would know, perhaps other more very observant merchants, or even his own personal guards that guard the walls. There's no, obviously they work for him, so they're not above taking money.
So I ain't got money.
But there are...
Also, I am not capable of talking to people, but I do say to people that are capable of talking to people, somebody should find out where he goes.
That is a very real thing to learn about.
Does
'Cause
Heathcliff know?
Heathcliff does not know.
He
Heathcliff
says he
unfortunately,
leaves, he does not know where he goes.
Doesn't leave his store.
doesn't leave the
Oh.
store.
So if somebody would maybe ask some of the guards or ask some of the
Damn, that
merchants,
sucks.
loosen their lips with some coin if you need to, but we should probably figure out where this guy goes.
Or a
Well,
fist.
it'd be nice if our talkie person will go do the talking.
That's what I'm saying. I have disadvantage unless they speak Thrycreen, which means I have disadvantage, and I don't want to do it because my charisma's a 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'd be nice if our talkie person would go do the talking.
I mean, you can still talk even if charisma's just a 10. Just
Yeah, I have a 10 charisma and I have disadvantage unless they speak Thrycreen. I really don't want to go do it.
You want me to talk to who?
Merchants or the guards of his stronghold to try and figure out where he goes when he leaves.
Probably merchants, not the guards. The guards would be kind of alerted to our whole scheme, especially right after Heathcliff made that deal.
I have a. What is the What
Yes,
is the density of Sigil? Like, is it like the picture in the background? Is it just wall-to-wall buildings?
It's wall, depending on where you are. In the hive, it's wall-to-wall buildings all stacked up on each other. Lower ward, it's pretty damn packed. But then you get to places like the ladies' ward, where it's the rich area. It's fairly...
I guess my question is, when Esteban goes on his romp, like when he vanishes once, you said it's monthly?
Once per month, yes.
Is he actually traveling, or is he like teleporting?
He
Do we know
is
that?
legitimately traveling.
Okay, do we know if he takes provisions?
That would be the point of you asking stuff about from the
Okay,
guards and
okay.
things like that.
I wasn't sure if because that would determine in which direction I would take that. But yeah, okay, I'll go on that little quest.
All right. Ito. Okay. All right. I'm going to rune quick. All right. Anybody else do anything?
Colin, can I observe, or can I try to observe their guards like posting and like movements?
Yeah, that'd be watching the guards with Alec Cool and Klaus, basically.
Oh, yeah, that's why they were doing that. Never mind. No, I wasn't thinking about like learning their patterns. Is watching the guards. I'm stupid. Come back to me.
All right. Now, Ito, you're interested in doing some talking to the guards, and like I said, you do see there are two pretty prominent older gentlemen that are sort of posted outside the walls of Esteban's compound. Like I said, wield pikes, and they seem to be fairly formidable fellows. There's also other merchants and just other people around you could talk to.
And other question of knowledge we may have gained before I started this. When is his next disappearance due to happen?
Nobody knows. You don't know.
It could be today.
Is it not on a clock?
It's, not necessarily on a clock.
Okay. And I'll start with guards.
All right.
Any?
You do see that there are 2 guards stationed out front of the large, heavy gates that bar the rest of the compound, or the compound from the rest of the merchant ward. And not only that, it does seem that any merchants that Esteban sends out, they are often accompanied by a small, essentially caravan. There's a caravan that has caravan guards to go with it out into the trade ward when they go and they set up their shops and things like that. So there's also some of his personal guard outside that keep an eye on his merchants and his stalls.
Okay. Do I can I identify an officer type?
Sure.
Tier 2. Yeah.
Do I want to make this a check of a sort? You do. It does seem like there is someone in charge, or it does seem there's ranks within the actual hierarchy of these guards. It's not just it's not like a guard and its captain. It just seems like there's actually ascending ranks, including like lieutenants and sergeants, basically intermediary ranks.
Sure.
And it does seem like there is at least one leader of some sort that goes out in the caravan. Exactly how high-ranking, you're unsure, but they outrank the rest of the people around them.
Sure.
In fact, go ahead and give me... This is probably going to be a... Give me a charisma-based history check.
Okay. So, hold on. My history is plus 6 and charisma is 20, so is that plus 11?
If it's so it's your
I'm a bard, so I'm proficient in everything. I don't know how that.
Your proficiency plus your charisma. If you are proficient in it, obviously.
Well, so I don't have it. Oh no, I am proficient in history. That's what that means.
All right. So
Hold on a sec.
be your proficiency bonus plus your charisma, which is better than normal history for you. It would be like a plus 11.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to.
So it is indeed D20 plus 11. High roll.
27.
1 second.
Looking
Ziggy,
at
what the fuck is
him,
it?
you are able to see that they almost as you sort of have a chance to look and see, they do have what appears to be rank insignias. You're just barely able to catch them and identify what appears to be like a series of pips on their collars, and you look and see sort of like I said, using your sort of charisma and history of, you know, perhaps symbols of rank and things like that, you're able to surmise sort of how a rank, there are a certain amount of pips on their collars for their rank within the order.
Okay. I would go over to the most accessible, highest rank collar that I can find.
The highest rank you can see, after a day of watching, there is the guards that are stationed next to the actual, like, gate themselves are 2 pips. The caravan guards that go out within the caravans are 1 pip. But the actual, like, caravan captain of the guard is 3 pips.
Okay. Am I able to come across the 3-pipped guard?
You are able to come across him. He walks at the head of the caravans, and then you can see that the way that it ends up being arrayed as Esteban's stalls are set up, and each stall has what appears to be a enforcer or guard of some sort, which are the 1-pip guards, and the 3-pip guard walks amongst them and sort of checks up on all of the individual stalls. So he is on a patrol.
I would kind of scope him out, but I'm not really trying to be stealthy about it. I want to kind of give the appearance that I'm actually waiting for him to have a moment.
He is able to
I'm trying to get a drink at a bar, but I don't want to be like, hey.
All right, give me a performance check.
Oh no, I'm not good at that.
Probably better than like the rest of us are.
I mean, it's a charisma check, so.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow, he rolled like ass.
I did roll like ass. That's a 5, I think. Yeah.
There are about 20 stalls that are currently set up. They have a certain aesthetic unity that a lot of the other tents don't have. Like, there's all sorts of garish and bright and different colors that mark the market ward, but all of Esteban's tents all have like a strange sort of color unity. It's not that they're all the exact same color, but they have a lot of the same like trimming and symbols on them. And each one has a sentry, which is the 1-pip guard, and then you can watch as the 3-pip guard sort of moves between them back and forth. His movement between the 20 or so guards takes about an hour for one way, so it's a 2-hour trip back and forth. As he doesn't exactly, he's not in some incredible rush. He moves at a relatively leisurely pace, even every now and then stopping to check out like a merchandise at a stall before he makes
What ancestry is this captain?
He is quite clearly a tiefling.
Okay.
You do see, while he is pretty well clad in armor, he does have a swishing, like, purplish tail that swishes behind him. But he's not at a harried or rushed or even all that of an authoritative of a pace. He moves quite leisurely from stall to stall, and he stops every now and then and looks at other merchant stalls, and he like looks at the items. You even see buys a small trinket of some sort from him as he's just moving back and forth. So it's clearly not moving at like some weirdly authoritative pace, essentially.
Sure.
When you are trying to stand out and sort of catch his attention, you realize you're standing in and amongst a group of merchants, and they're all trying to stand out and call for people's attentions. So he doesn't really even notice you as you walk along. You're just one of many people trying to catch his eye. Did not roll high enough to stand out amongst the crowd, even if you got to shout out loud.
Shout out.
Man, who remembers?
Man,
Who remembers Powerline?
I do. I love that
Dude,
movie.
A Goofy movie is one of like the greatest movies from that like
It's a great movie.
era
good.
of
I've heard it's a
Disney.
Goofy movie.
It's quite goofy.
It is a Goofy movie, but it's not an extremely Goofy movie.
I would.
Moderately goofy.
The extremely Goofy movie is not as good.
No, it isn't.
Is there a You mentioned that there's a sequence of stalls all related to Esteban's wares. Is there a like a staff stall, like a reserved stall that's not actually selling anything, but is sort of like a reserved for employee kind of deal?
There is not a staff stall exactly, but after watching the market for a little while, they do take breaks, and while they don't have like a official area, they do seem, since they're all grouped together, they almost make a faint like divot. They're almost, it's not like they're U-shaped, it's more like they're contact lens shaped. They're lens shaped. It's not as deep as a U, essentially. And within that little divot, there's like, they gather together people that are taking breaks. He's not a, he's not that harsh where they can't leave the stall, but they do take breaks every now and then. It looks like they gather within that little divot, and you can see a couple of them smoking pipes. A couple of them are eating a meal of some sort, likely food that they brought from one of the various stalls nearby that fill the air with the scent of roasted meats and baking bread and the like. So yes, that is essentially a way to say there is an employee area, but it's not like enclosed.
Okay. If I could start making my way in that direction, again, not aggressively. I'm just trying to like get basically someone to talk to.
All right. There is back here. There are not really any guards, but like I said, you're not that far away from one of Esteban's guards. You're just on the back side of the tents, essentially. And so there's a small grouping of maybe, it's generally about 20 people. Esteban, it doesn't look like there's an official uniform of any kind. So you were probably pretty able to blend in with them, as there's, a disparate assortment of clothing and races. So you're able to make yourself pretty close, as you're able to start sort of listening into the conversations. They're very mundane for the most part. It's the type of conversations you would expect. You hear one guy, just one human guy that's complains about his wife, and there's another one that complains about how much his feet hurt after standing all day in the stall, but he needs the money and blah blah. Just the type of things you'd expect. But you are able to get close. What are you doing exactly?
You mentioned there's like a 3-pip hierarchy. Do I see any of the 2-pip guys here?
You do not. All of these sentries
It's just one.
Are 1 guards or 1 pips. All the sentries are 1 pip except for the 3-pip, basically captain. Yeah.
Okay. If there's an individual who's sitting by himself, I would kind of walk up to that guy and I'll ask him like, I'm sure your higher up is busy. I'm trying to get his attention, but I don't want to interrupt his patrol.
Whenever you sit down, he almost sort of jumps back a little bit, surprised by your presence, as he raises an eyebrow. Where the hell did you come from?
That's a very long story. As I said, I'm looking for work actually, but your captain, he seems a bit more involved. I'm in between the merchant lords, trying to find work as an escort.
Oh, I understand. well, Captain Randon's got a lot on his mind these days. But, what exactly? Why would you want to join the household of Estevan? That place, to tell you the truth, it kind of sucks here.
Well, I'm prior military, and you guys seem to have at least some form of uniformity amongst you. Feels like it might run a bit better than the circus that I came from recently.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's persuasion, not deception.
I mean, you can roll a deception check, yeah.
I mean, it's the same number, actually.
Roll a deception check.
It's a 26.
He sort of sighs and says, I mean, it's better than starving on the streets, I suppose.
That was my thinking. In the next few hours, that is going to become a dire moment.
Alright. If you're that desperate, we are looking for people. I'll put in a word for you. Say there's some guy is trying to talk to him. Looking to join up. That'll at least get his attention.
Can I see if this guy's bullshitting?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
$18.
He's just he doesn't seem like he's lying to you. He seems like he'll go whenever the captain walks by, put in a word. Is, you're looking for him. Looking for work, essentially, and since it does seem like they're in need or wanting more people, might get an audience with him. But he's like, yeah, I'll do that.
If I have a moment before the captain rolls up, I have in my vestments, I have a pouch of tobacco that is laced with the Green Lady's tea, and I would kind of distribute that amongst anybody who's got a pipe on them.
Alright. There are indeed a couple. As they eye you a little bit suspiciously, one of them says, no pips, huh? But is happy to take your tobacco.
Yeah. Well, as I was telling your friend here, I'm between lords looking for work.
Yeah. Takes a long drag on his pipe, holds the tobacco in and breathes it out and says, oof. Bringing around leaf like this, you'll be popular amongst the lads. This is good leaf.
Quite fond of
He
it.
narrows his eyes. Too good for someone just looking for a poor man's job. You steal this?
It's the stickiest of the...
Steal, no. It was given to me.
Oh. Well, you must have friends in high places, lad. Shame they couldn't employ you.
It was a parting gift.
But you're handing out some high quality leaf there. Much better than these poors would expect. But you do sit and talk and gossip.
So Ito's the one fucker who can afford American spirits in a sea of menthol.
I mean, it's you got the good stuff,
Okay, good.
And that does gather around a small group as they you're able to glean some things even from this group about Captain Randon. Specifically, he's Estevan's son, not his eldest son, but one of his sons. He is a overly dour and strident fellow. He is not prone to making many jokes. He serves his father dutifully, and he, like I said, he's a very dour fellow. And after talking for an hour or so, there is almost, you can almost sense a it's not that you sense an actual physical chill in the air, but whenever all of a sudden you see the guards that you've been talking with and smoking like stiffen up slightly, there is an odd feeling of dread that sort of fills the air, as there is the three-pip tiefling, Captain Randon is standing there, and just his very presence has caused them to be very much on edge as he sort of coldly walks up, looking at the rather fine pipe weed, and he says, "I hope that this leaf doesn't impair your senses. You have a duty to perform, and that is keeping an eye on things around the stars. I would hate for you to have imbibed something that would make your perception limited."
If his crew jumps to like attention, I would join them.
And he sort of sees you standing there, and he says, I imagine you're the one seeking me out. I assure you, your fine leaf and whatever affections my guards may hold upon you now will have no effect upon me.
Actually, they informed me of such, that you're a good judge of character, but you don't let your judgment be clouded.
And he looks around and says, "You said that about me?"
No, I gleaned it from conversation. I don't think anyone here would speak ill of you.
He sort of
At
looks
least
around,
that's not the impression I got.
shakes his head, and he says, "Half grog rations for your misplaced affections." And sort of audible groan amongst the guards. "Well, shall we speak? Come, step into one of the tents. I don't know how comfortable you are with an impromptu interview, but we are looking for help."
I didn't want to interrupt your patrol, so this is precisely what I was after.
Oh my god, Gracie.
Gracie's like, they're coming for my eyes!
I will be right back.
Not my eyes.
Just to make sure I heard Colin right, he said that this guy is Esteban's son, but he's a tiefling, right?
Yeah, so it probably means that he has some sort of human partner, I suppose.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gathering.
Well, humanoid, I guess. I guess
a humanoid partner at some point in time.
Yeah.
Max, how's that cyberpunk chair treating you?
We're good. I like it. It's comfortable. It doesn't sink too low when I sit in it. Like, I guess I'm not too fat for it. It keeps me up.
I mean, that's
armrests are
usually
comfortable. My elbows don't get sore on it.
nice. Are you still paying it off?
Yeah. I did the long-term one.
What was the APR on that then?
Something.
Max is about to say a number that we're all gonna regret hearing.
Hopefully it was
Oh.
interest free.
They're usually interest free if you do it
Karma.
within X time period.
It was nice. I enjoy it. I like it.
Aren't they like I've looked at them for a while though, but aren't they like all the same?
What do you mean, like the chairs? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
the
it's just
physical
got
parts for the chair, they're all the same,
yeah.
right?
Since yours has the cyberpunk imprint, is it the faux leather or is it the soft weave?
It is a mixture of both. There's some parts of it that are soft weave and some that are faux leather.
Interesting.
I don't know if I'd want the faux leather.
I might have to go back out. Clearly.
You
Okay.
are able, like I said, to talk to the guard captain, Captain Randon, and you are able to. You get the impression that he is indeed pretty straightforward, pretty dour. He doesn't seem to particularly appreciate the old leaf or anything like that. He seems to be man or tiefling of duty. One to his father, although he's not exactly a favored son, I would say. Now, he is going to lead you into a tent to essentially give you an impromptu interview of sorts. Well, they are desperate for people. They're not going to let just anyone join. I gotta make sure you're up to snuff. He takes in the length of you, eyeing you up and down, and he says, "Tell me, why exactly are you trying to get my attention?"
Well, I figured if the captain is doing a patrol while his men are on break, probably means he needs more manpower. And my former employer and I met with some disagreement. So here I am, looking for work.
Roll a deception check.
$35.
Alright. He kind of eyes you and he says, "Well, it must have been one hell of a disagreement to drive you here."
No, I'd be lying if I said I plan to stay here forever. But I've always heard of consistency amongst Lord Esteban, and so I would plan to stay here as long as I could, as long as that consistency remains true.
He sort of, you can see while he does narrow his eyes at you for a moment, he just sort of sighs and he says, "Oh, we very much would welcome someone of your bearing. You seem to have a noble air about you, almost as if you're an authority figure."
I was not exactly of your rank amongst my former employers, but I was in the making of being so.
Nods his head and he says, "Fair enough. If you would like to accompany me back to the estate, we'll see that you're set up with. I'll take your name and give you a pip. Obviously, while you do seem to have a authoritative bearing about you, I can't exactly just put you above the rest immediately, but we can send you out on caravan duty tomorrow and see how you do."
That was similar to my position previously, so I would appreciate that. However, I do have a request.
Making requests. You think quite highly of yourself.
It's not that kind of request. The men I was with earlier, they were enjoying my tobacco. I would prefer it if you took that out of my wages rather than theirs. It was me who opened the bag.
He sort of sighs and sort of waves his hand and he says, "Fine. I must warn you that may mean you have some weeks where you don't receive wages. But you won't starve and you'll always have a roof over your head, so..."
That's fine with me. I have enough to get me through that, I'm sure.
Do you have somewhere to stay tonight?
I don't, unfortunately. With my impromptu release of employment, so did most of my prospects.
Well, I'll see that you have a bed in the barracks at the very least.
I appreciate that.
What's your name, lad?
Fuck, what name would I actually want to give?
That's a weird name.
I'll do Cortez.
Well, Cortez, I'll see that the guards are expecting you at the gate, and they'll lead you to the barracks and we'll give you a nice, comfy place to rest for the night, at the very least.
Thank you. Is there anything I should do in the meantime, or should I just head that way?
If you've got any fun you want to get out of your system, go ahead and get it done, because join the ranks, it's going to be a while before you have such leisures.
When should I report to the caravan duty?
We'll go over that tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you.
He nods his head and opens the tent flap for you. Lets you out back into the market district, as you were able to convince him that you're just some poor guy down on his luck, looking for a job. He's like, alright, we need people, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. Get you hired. Go through the paperworks.
Did he specifically say I had to stay within the area, or am I free to leave so long as I report in the next day?
You're fine to go wherever. Like I said, you've got a day of leisure. Because after, if you get hired, well, your leisure's not going to be around for a while. You're going to be doing caravan duty and the like.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna head back towards the Burning Man Tavern, but I kind of want to be keeping an eye out for a trail, or a tail, if I'm gonna call him.
Roll a perception check.
Holy shit!
You're pretty damn sure you're not being followed.
You can.
That's my best roll of the game.
You look behind you and you see you're just one of a face in a sea of faces, one amongst a huge crowd, and there's nobody that's weaving their way towards you. You're pretty sure you're fine.
Awesome.
All right.
That's me.
So that was you talking. Now we're doing some guard watching. Let's see. Klaus, Alec Cool, Henley, keeping an eye on the towers and the comings and the goings of the guard. As you can see them depart, the actual caravan depart, the sort of line of market stalls making their way into the heart of the market district, flanked by guards. You watch as the sentries stand at absolute attention, both sides of the gates, their pikes glistening in a sort of seemingly ever-present sort of sunlight, artificial sunlight of some sort. There are a half dozen guards that patrol along the actual 10-foot wall itself, each one walking steadily, pausing every now and then to look out over the landscape of packed buildings and tents before moving on their way. It is basically roughly 8 guards that just guard the outside perimeter of the wall, keeping an eye on things. The 2 that steadily guard the gate, 6 that walk the perimeter. There is a guard change every 6 or so hours. And they, like I said, it's basically what you would expect. But there is a guard change every 6 hours.
Alright, are there any like points of entry, like weak points where I could just like blind spots? There we go, that's what I was looking for.
You do see that for the size of the compound, the relatively small amount of guards patrolling it mean there's pretty sizable gaps of maybe 10 to 15 minutes along the wall where it's not exactly a 1000%, 100% blind spot, but there's not really a vigilant eye being cast upon this part of the wall, or the part of the wall that a sentry or a guard passes for about 10 to 15 minutes, because they've probably got less men than they need to man the walls.
Gotcha.
But there is a very clear and faint shimmer around it, so it's not just guarded by mundane means. There's probably some sort of perimeter spell on it.
Yeah, like abjurations.
Yeah, like maybe some sort of alarm or something.
You might. If you were to dispel those, would the person who cast it know that it was dispelled?
I think that's only if it's concentration, right?
Roll an Arcana check. I guess this would be with advantage because this is also something the Redeemer had proficiency in. You're
23. Now it's my roll.
probably not.
43? 23. Okay. Holy fuck.
Probably not. You probably would not realize that particular ward is down, but it's you don't know how hard it will be to break through. If it is, like I say, it's usually depending on how powerful the person that cast it was. So
No.
Yeah, and I'm not like a heavy spellcaster, so like I'm sure I can dispel some weaker stuff, but anything cast by like a higher devil lord or the hell this guy is, might have to get Aruda for that.
that seems very possible. But yeah, you know, there is a window there. It's a pretty decent window. It's not even like a minute or two. It's literally 10 or 15 minutes to get up and over a really. It's not that it's like a low wall. 10 feet high is pretty fucking high for a normal person, you know. However, you are obviously a little bit stronger than the average lad, so a 10-foot wall is not that big a deal for you. It's just the guards and the more magical protections that would be a problem. Because I'm pretty sure everyone can clear a fucking 10-foot wall at your level, or break through it. Henley just walks. Henley just walks forward through the wall.
Like falls down.
Colin,
Colin,
are we inspecting these separately or together?
This is just generally what you're seeing for watching the guards. Like I said, you see that this is very much there's gaps in the security. There's 8 guards total. The guards on the walls are lesser ranking than the guards on the gates. Only got 1 pip. And beyond that, you don't really see any movement within the compound. However, you do see within the from just your view, inside the compound's gotta be like really nice. You can see trees, like beautiful sort of cherry blossom trees that rise up over the walls. You can hear the faint sound of trickling, running water. So it's gotta be pretty nice in there, like a garden of some sort, probably. Is there anything else in particular you're looking for from the guards?
How often do they switch? Do we figure how often
6
they
hours. Every 6 hours is a
Okay.
change of the guard.
Is there one shift where they seem to have less people?
It does not. It just seems to be a constant 8. So there's not a single guard that has less, or single shift that has less people, but every shift does look like it's slightly understaffed. It looks like I said, there should be more
Yeah,
than 6
I-
people on the wall.
Oh well, if that's the case, is there a shift where it seems to be someone does double duty, so we could see a point where they might be more tired and we can get through there?
Sure. Roll a perception check.
Okie dokie, artichokey. Perception. Non-natural 20.
Sort of looking at them, it does seem that they're able to. There is a very slight overlap, and while looks like it happens early in the morning, like there's a couple of people in the early morning shift that. It's not that they exactly overlap, but you realize they got off of their last shift and didn't have enough time to actually sleep. They probably only had maybe 4 hours of sleep or so.
What time of the day is that?
Or they would have only had 6 hours of sleep, and that happens early in the morning, where it looks like they ran a late night shift and then they started a morning shift.
Well, it looks like we should attack early in the morning then. All right.
My wife. All right. So there is indeed probably a shift where there's a little bit of overlap, where they're not exactly at their peak, even if they all have the exact same amount of people on every shift. And so you generally get an idea that probably early morning, like the first shift that starts at around equivalent of 5 o'clock in the morning or so. Oh my god, Gracie, kill yourself.
There it is.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything? Alright. Ito.
Yes.
You rest. You prepare yourself for your interview. Make sure you're nice and, clean, but not, not necessarily too clean. You don't want to come off as effete. They don't want a girly man. They want real manly men for their guards.
Actually, before I head out, can I talk to Heathcliff?
Sure.
I know Heathcliff does not leave Heathcliff's. Is there a way to talk to Heathcliff without entering Heathcliff's?
He'll send Kyle out to talk to you.
Okay, cool. I will talk to Kyle.
That's all he does. He just sighs.
Cool, okay. I would inform Kyle to let Heathcliff know that I am entering into Esteban's workforce. I'm going to have Heathcliff be my former employer, having dismissed me.
He says, "This is the first time I've seen sunlight in 1,000 years.
Happy to be of service.
I hate it. It's hot. Stinks.
You're telling me.
I want to go back inside." And he just kind of stares at you awkwardly.
But if you could report that to Mr. Heathcliff in the rare event that in his dealings with Esteban, my appearance comes up. I doubt it will, but in case it does.
Yeah.
something to give credence to the cover.
Whatever. I'll make sure he hears it.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna buy Kyle a drink, and I'm gonna let him take as long as he needs to get back to work.
Kind of sits there for a little while, drinks a drink, gets up, stretches, walks back inside. He mumbles to himself, "Things I do for this damn job." All right. You talk to him, and you can only hope he passes the message on. He will eventually, probably, maybe, probably. You, what? Other than that, do you dust yourself off, take a nap?
Yeah,
They bright.
I would kind of let people know what's up. I'm gonna try to see if I can convince them to bolster security of a caravan to lower security on the compound.
Well, you're not hired yet, so don't pay much attention to you.
Sure. No, I meant I tell the group that. Sorry, I tell the party that is my plan.
All right, so you're gonna be the inside man.
Yep.
Okay. But I hope you don't get separated from us when we attack, as we attack early in the morning.
I
That's
think
when they
Try
say-
to get the AM shift.
That's when they seem to be the weakest.
Okay.
Okay. Well, whenever you, like I said, you have a. I was gonna say a warm bed in the barracks, a moderately warm bed in the barracks. It's not that nice. That's been cleared for you by Captain Randon, the captain of the guard. You know, at the very least, you've got one night to stay in relative comfort. Considering you're portraying yourself as someone really down on their luck. You can see that while you do have a bunk in the barracks, it's sort of off to the corner in a sort of a windowless corner. You get the feeling like they're trying to box you in a little bit so you can't really wander in the compound. As you've been only promised the bed in the barracks, not free reign of the compound, so. Love you too, Daddy! Yeah,
Now that's on the internet too.
okay. Alright. You, get the feeling that you're being, like, boxed in. There's a perimeter being put around you of basically, you realize that the bunk bed next to you is always occupied by someone. They're keeping a pretty close eye on you because you haven't proven yourself or joined the actual guard, so, you know, obviously, they're keeping an eye on you.
Sure.
Now, you pass the time. Do you try to do anything else, or I just go straight to your interview?
I'll go into the interview.
All right. The interview is actually a relatively pleasant affair. As you can see, there is a large sort of pond that has a little waterfall beneath beautiful sort of like blossoming trees. Captain Randolph meets you there. It seems to be a place that he is fairly comfortable in, and it's quite beautiful. As he eyes you approaching and nods his head, and he says, "Look, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that we're not exactly hurting for people, but you know, we're not exactly taking anyone. So, tell me about yourself. Name, complete history, a full history, not this vague overview that you gave. And why exactly are you looking to be here, lad? Like, really, there's a lot of caravan jobs you could take for people that aren't as dangerous as my father.
Well. Name is Cortez, as I said. I used to be a guard under Heathcliff's. He doesn't do a lot of planner-based travel, but when he does, I was on his team. Truth be told, I picked Esteban on purpose. I overheard some grumblings about an attempt to perhaps rob his caravan.
Asa.
And I was hoping that perhaps that information might help me get a more dedicated position. And my wife just came, so I apologize. I gotta help her bring in groceries.
Dire claim indeed.
Sorry.
One that we'll certainly have to look after. You do yourself a service. Bringing
Connor,
this to
talking
my
to no
attention.
one.
I know.
Okay.
Everybody nods his head. And then he opens his mouth to speak some more. And it switches. You do see Henley and Klaus. That look cool. You do hear the guards actually the two front gate guards, as you're trying to keep an eye on them, they do talk about the Estevan's monthly outgoings. They sort of complain about the fact that they sort of say, I hate that we don't get to fucking sleep on those days, basically. All guards up and moving and at posts, escorting him. And for fucking what? He disappears into a building for a few hours and comes back. I mean, it's bullshit. Like, why should we lose sleep over that? They sort of complain about it.
That's shitty. This dude sucks. We're doing these people a favor by killing him.
I mean, he's definitely
We should when we steal shit, we should leave Union pamphlets in their place.
Exactly. You don't rise to the height of the capitalism pile by being a good person.
I'm back, sorry.
But yeah, they complain about it during his outgoing monthly journeys into the city. Basically it's all guards on duty, essentially. So they end up fucking tired. They don't really get to sleep after, so their sleep is all fucked up. It's not good. It's rough.
It sounds like it's coming up soon then.
It may very well be. Because they do not seem to be, they are talking about it, they do not seem to be happy about it.
Well, I mean, hell, that tells me that I need to bring the sleep spell. I'm gonna go ahead and start fucking with my spell list.
They won't even resist it. They'll be like, thank God.
Finally, I have a reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I can blame the sleep spell. But yeah, it does seem to be...
Oh no, it failed! I'm still going to sleep anyway.
Just the way that they're
Oh
talking.
no, I'm so sleepy.
Oh no, my saving throw.
It does feel like it's coming up.
Maybe it'll be this weekend. Coincidentally.
I mean, maybe. You do know he goes to... You do know, they would know, he mentioned that he goes to a particular library every month.
So they mentioned that?
They do mention that, yes. They would have mentioned something about probably a library.
Well, I might go back to Heathcliff and ask him if there's any, like, big important libraries around here. Because I assume he goes to... Well, probably an important one.
When you go to Heathcliff's about it, he's like, well, I mean, the Planar Chronicles, they're probably the most prolific one. They're not even that far, so it's not too much of a journey, even.
Yeah. Well, do you know, Heathcliff, do you have an approximate of like since the last time he's left is?
He says, I mean, it's hard to say. I don't exactly keep exact date of it, but it's probably been about a month.
Okay, but I say because his guards are complaining about it, which made it seem like it was coming up soon.
It might be. Like I said, I don't have exact dates, but seems like it's been about a month since I heard mention of it.
Well, all right. Well, hopefully it's this weekend then.
He nods his head and says, maybe.
Wouldn't that just be a funny coincidence?
You'll have to go figure it out, but like I said, it's only 2 hours on those days, so
Yeah, it's fair.
he sort of shrugs. So he goes to a library once per month.
Oh, I thought you said then he goes to a library. I was like, well, damn.
He goes to the library. Says, "Tell me what he's hiding."
All right, I'll try, I guess.
Okay.
Are we blackmailing too?
Aren't we always?
Who are we gonna blackmail?
We'll find
The guy
someone.
we're stealing from. Yeah. Are we specifically looking for stuff to blackmail him? I guess beyond just stealing from him.
I don't know why we need to blackmail him. We can just kill him. I mean, he's a devil. I don't. And he seems
Yeah, I
to
don't
be
know
great.
how you can blackmail a devil. I don't think they fucking care.
Also, he seems to be actively evil to an extent to these people. So, like, I don't know if there's a lot of
Well,
social misconduct in killing him.
you know he's paranoid. He's paranoid and he's fearful for some reason.
It's probably because of the unions.
Maybe he's a pedophile.
I assume that all devils are pedophiles.
Maybe not all of them. Just like they might. That might be like a special subsection of devils where other devils are like, nah, fuck that guy.
Well, no, you're right.
It's like squares and rectangles. You know, all pedophiles are devils, but not all devils are pedophiles.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, they are lawful evil. So if pedophilia is illegal, they can't do it.
He's evil, but he has something he's afraid of, and fear, balances
mind
everything
killer.
And
out.
people
Yeah.
finding out that he watched Cuties.
And he liked it.
Oh God.
Is this devil just
You
sneak
got
out?
the director's cut.
Aw.
All right. So who wants to do what? Anybody do anything?
I am back after getting groceries.
Ah, cool. Connor can finish his interview.
Yeah,
All
sorry.
right. We go back to Captain Randon as like I said, he's been like, look, there's other jobs you could be taking around here, so, but if you do want to bring yourself into the fold, well, it's doable. Afraid you're gonna have to start out at the bottom just like everyone else.
Sure.
But you prove yourself worthy, and you might find yourself rising up the ranks fast.
Wow. Connor didn't even want to negotiate that. He was just like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I suck.
I was letting him finish.
Oh.
But he says, that's fine. We'll take you in. We are looking for people, but so if you're not afraid of hard work, you'll have a place here. Might move up through the ranks pretty fast. But I'm afraid, well, it doesn't seem like you've got a lot of attachments outside the city itself or in the city, so saying goodbye to loved ones Probably not that big a deal. That could be a problem for some of the people joining the ranks.
Maybe
No.
Connor can. Maybe Ito can rise to captain by this weekend.
No, not quite. You
Venta
said
hears
we're-
about this. Venta hears about this and
we're-
is like, yeah, I did this already. I already did this
We're,
plot.
we're robbing the joint in a couple days, but I'm going on the caravan tomorrow, right?
Probably.
Is that what I'm understanding? Okay.
Oh well, if the caravan's tomorrow.
There's a caravan every day, but not like the
Oh,
caravan.
okay.
So it's the caravan I'm going to be on tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So I
Is
will
that
go
all
on
we're
the
hitting,
caravan.
or are we gonna let him do his own thing?
No, I'll go on the caravan because if it's daily, I'm not coming back because he indicated if it's just a 1-day thing.
It's daily, so.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go on the caravan as just to kind of help deep cover.
Alright.
Deep toe, if you will.
I hope you've got a fine pair of walking boots. We do have an excursion to undergo this weekend, so we're gonna have to be prepared for a bit of marching.
Hold on.
Okay.
He hears
Okay.
like, can you say that again into the earpiece, please?
This feels like entrapment. I heard hold on.
Sorry, my stupid dog tried to eat a thumbtack.
That's just
We-
good eating.
Stupid dog.
Chocolate? No.
Weak.
Chocolate is a cat.
Oh, I forgot which
I
one.
mean,
was
would you want chocolate to eat a thumbtack?
Yes.
Chocolate's probably stubborn enough he could eat a thumbtack. Anyway,
Was it-
so yeah, I will go on the I'll go on the caravan happily. Probably not my finest boots, since apparently your crew were a bit enamored by the tobacco. Maybe I shouldn't show off my station.
We wouldn't want the folks getting jealous now, would we? Of course. We'll see ya outfitted if you need anything, and I'll find you a nice cushy station with one of the friendlier merchants. How about that?
It's up to you.
We wouldn't want to run you off early.
Sure. The caravan gig sounds like a good first step. Oh, who the fuck left?
I did.
Oh no.
Looks like Rick.
I'm spooky.
Hello, spooky.
Spooky.
Spooky pooky.
Alright. Well, you realize that you're going to get a pretty substantial inn, as he has agreed to put you onto caravan duty. He is interested, like I said, they're a little bit desperate for people, not the greatest help currently, so he's willing to let you in, obviously. You get the feeling that there is an eye that is constantly on you, however, as if they're understandably making sure that you're going to be a good fit. He does assign you to a relatively cushy stall with a very friendly human woman who's maybe 45 or 50, but still quite attractive, with silvered blonde hair, faint wrinkles on her face, a lifetime of stress held in good nature around her eyes, as it seems like she sells very nice pottery, like ceramics. And she's quite friendly with you, even offering you, like, water, wine, and she says, if you're keeping an eye on me, then I'm gonna keep an eye on you. That sort of thing. It looks like he gave you a relatively friendly merchant.
That was nice of him.
Cool. Is it just me on her detail,
Yep, it's 1 guard per tent, basically.
Okay,
Like 1
cool.
sentry.
I will. I'll do the thing. I'll keep watch. I will. She talks, I'll talk. Is it Randon?
Captain Randon.
Yeah, if Captain Randon comes by, I'll of course make myself look busy.
All right, you're able to make yourself look busy by just standing at attention, as that's basically
Right.
your duty.
You're in the military now, son.
Not again.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
$13.
Okay. You are able to, as you're standing there at attention, there are people coming and going about their business. And, Captain Randon sort of, walks up to you and sort of, looks at you as he strides past you, and you can see with a stout and stern hand, he grabs what appeared to be just a customer by the wrist and rests it behind their back as he reaches into inside the robes and pulls out one of the ceramics that they had pocketed, as they had put a small, very finely crafted, beautifully glazed and colored dish into their small pocket in their robes. As he sort of shakes his head. Get out of here, you fucking piece of shit. And puts the actual ceramic dish back down onto the display. Gotta keep a sterner eye.
Any response to the perpetrator that's getting away?
He sort of looks at him and says, if we tossed every attempted shoplifter into the jail, there wouldn't be anyone left in the damn market district.
True. Keep a better eye.
If it becomes a problem, a repeat problem, then you might break an arm or a finger as a warning. But they don't oftentimes end up in a cell.
That sounds reasonable. And I will,
If he comes back, break his hand.
Damn.
Can I cast Hunter's Mark to see if he does come back?
Sure. You do see he does stay skulking in the area.
When I cast that spell, because I believe that does have there's a verbal component. Does Randon react in any way?
It seems like it's lost in the din of the crowd. Essentially, he doesn't react to it, he just keeps running.
Okay. I will. That lasts for 1 hour, so as long as that guy is within.
That fucker made you look bad in front of Captain Randon. You didn't catch his shoplifting. Randon did. Time to break some hands.
Truly, this is the most normal course of actions.
Hey, he said if he comes back, break his damn hand, so. And he does skulk around the area, staying on the outskirts. You can see he moves in amongst the crowds. Every now and then he goes to a stall for a little while and seems to loiter about it and move on. But you can't really see him, you just sense that he's there with the hunter's mark. And he is slowly making his way to the general area of the tent, as well as the ceramics tent. As the very nice woman keeps she uses some of her very not her finest glazed pottery, but she has quite nice, like, pottery that she offers you drinks with. As she pours you, she's even willing to offer you some like honeyed mead as she takes it from her own personal collection. She says, I brought this to drink, but I wasn't going to drink all of it. If you'd like a sip of it, and offers you mead and things like that. She's very nice. Almost like motherly.
I would actually refuse, thinking that Randon probably isn't okay with that. But I would thank her anyway.
Oh, of course, just water. That's like I said. The mead isn't for everyone, but it's here if you want some. But she does offer you like nice fresh water and things like that as you keep your wits about you. And you do see towards the end of the Hunter's Mark's expiration time, he does make his way sort of in the area. He's not exactly at the stall, but he's close by. And you can just make out him sort of making his way, just strolling lazily to the stall and sort of looking at the pottery. You can see he does have his head down, his hands sort of very closely working amongst the pottery, but you do see, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Do I get advantage for Hunter's Mark?
It's as the Hunter Mark ended.
Okay. You said perception again?
Yep.
$18.
He lifts up the bowls and he looks at him. Like I said, he keeps his head down. And every now and then he makes a move to look like he's trying to pocket it in his robe. But then he sets it back down. You can see he turns his head to see if you're watching him.
I will continue to talk to the merchant as if I'm not watching him. And I'll let her know, actually, I've changed my mind. I will have some of that meat, if you don't mind.
She smiles broadly and says, of course, lovely. As she takes the cup and she goes to get some mead. As you can see, she ducks behind the counter and grabs her little earthenware jug and begins to pour the honeyed liquid into the crockery mug. And you can see as she's doing that, he just picks up a little plate and slips it inside his robe. Closes it up a little bit. Looks around.
I will, while she's bringing it to me, I'll smile, I'll say thank you, and I'll ask her, how much or would you say your pieces are usually worth?
Well, it depends on the size. Some of the bigger things can fetch a pretty decent coin, but some of the little saucers and the like are only a gold or so.
And the plates?
The plates are usually 2 gold, or you can get a set of 6 for 10 gold.
Good to know. Did my asking about the plates get a reaction from our friend?
Nope.
Okay. If he tries to leave the stall, I will cast Hold Person on him, pulling out a straight bar of iron from my vestment.
Alright. You see he does kind of loiter around a little bit. He's got it in there, but he doesn't exactly just rush away. He just sort of, yep. Picks up some of the plates and nods his head and says, it's a good craftsmanship. And then he sort of slowly turns and he begins making his way out of the sort of area of the tent and pull out the iron rod and cast Hold Person. He all of a sudden stands stock still at the edge of a group of people that are sort of moving past him. A couple people bumping into him saying, "Get out of the fucking way, idiot." But he stands there stock still, held in place.
Okay. I will walk up behind him and I'll kind of reach into his robe and retrieve the plates. Are there anything else in those pockets?
Ooh. You reach in and you move through his pockets and you do find he has what appears to be a tightly packed coin purse.
What?
I let him know that I don't believe all the coin in this purse belongs to you. Now, my captain told me that if you came back around, I was supposed to break your arm. But the nice lady behind you informed me that these plates are not actually worth much more than a couple gold. I don't think your arm is worth that.
Damn.
So I will. I'm going to grab hold of his wrist and I will cancel the spell.
Alright. He sort of all of a sudden begins moving and trying to like run away as fast as he can. He like starts trying to skitter away.
I will. Do you want me to like try and grapple him?
Yeah.
That's strength, right?
I'll be athletics.
Athletics.
Versus
And
his...
Oof, 9.
He's able to yank his arm out of yours and like take off running into the crowd.
Can I misty step in front of him? Kind of like shoulder check.
Sure. You bamf forward as you all of a sudden you appear right in front of him as he stops, dead in his tracks, looking at you. His eyes alight as you push your head forward and try to sort of knock him down. I mean, tripping is another action that uses like strength.
It's up to you. I can do it again. I'm just trying to like, bamf directly in front of him so he runs into me.
You do bamf right, he slams right into you. Look of shock on his face as he sort of staggers backwards.
Alright, now, I really don't want to have to break your arm.
Roll an intimidation check.
It's 17.
Alright. He is going to cower in place as he sort of puts his arms over his head and says, "Oh, what you breaking me arm? I use that arm. I use it every night."
I'm sure you do.
Ooh.
Now, I'm gonna help him to his feet, and I'm gonna kind of hold on to his wrist while I'm doing so, and I'm gonna walk him back over to the shopkeeper's stand.
"Oh Lord, he's breaking me arm! Oh jeez!" As you gently pull him to the thing. "I thought you said you wasn't breaking me arm. You're breaking me arm."
When I get there, I will place the plates back onto a shelf.
All right.
Back onto the shelf or table, whatever he got it from, and I'm gonna take the coin purse from him. I'll put that on the table as well.
"Hey, that's my coins. I got them fair and square."
I'm sure you do. Do I know if one of the restoration spells can heal broken bones?
I mean, sure.
Okay. Cool. I want to cast a message to this guy, and I'm going to let him know to go to the Burning Man Tavern and ask for Karakwa to help him out. And then I'm going to do the behind the back elbow twist.
All right. There is he sort of has a confused look on his face as you yank send the message and then just break his arm, as there is a terrible cracking sound as his arm snaps awkwardly as he lets out just a scream of pain that manages to even pierce the sort of sound of the market around you, as he is collapses on the ground, sort of cradling his arm, his face beet red and sheened with sweat, as he says, "You have to break my arm. I used that arm."
Unfortunately, I was not given much of a choice, but you remember what I said, and I will pass him back his money.
He gets up and he's sort of cradling his arm. Says, "You're a bully, just like the rest of your fucking guard friends. I was just out here trying to survive. You fucking broke me arm."
I will let him go on his way. I'll do another message to just remind him that at the Burning Man Tavern, someone can fix that. The gold is his to keep, so long as he keeps his mouth shut.
Or he's gonna go look. He's gonna go looking for the Burning Man Tavern and never find it because it's the smoldering corpse.
Oh no! You've been had.
All right.
I kind of like the idea of Karak having some rando walk up to him and go, "Hey, this crazy guy broke my arm, but he told me you can fix it."
Ito sent another one, I see.
Well,
There's negotiations.
good job, Mr. Cortez.
I didn't enjoy doing that.
As Captain Random sort of walks up, he says, "Sometimes it can be quite difficult to do your duty, but it's something you have to do."
I don't think he expected to find a magic user here.
Sort of shrugs and he says, "Well, it's always nice to have our opponents guessing." Keep that sort of. You keep this up, you're gonna rise above me in no time.
That's not my intent. Just good at following orders, I guess.
But he nods his head and he says, "Keep a good eye out. I'm impressed." Alright, you're gonna do with Captain Randon. Woo!
I will go hang out with the merchant lady again, and then politely decline her mead, say that it was just to get closer to the guy.
Damn.
She sort of shrugs and drinks it herself. Well, no need to waste it.
That's true.
Downs it in one gulp.
Waste not, want not.
Alright. But you've really proven yourself. It's like pretty impressive stuff, Cortez.
This poor cat. Rick, release your cat.
Kill the cat.
The cat.
Alright. Well. You, impress him. Unfortunately, Karakwa, you do have a guy that ends up coming up to you with a...
Unfortunately, there's someone that needs my help.
With a broken arm.
It's a real shame Karakwa didn't prepare restoration today.
Sheened with sweat. As he said, "Some guy told me to come ask you to fix my arm."
Yeah, let's take a look at you.
He's suffered a...
Do I even need to do a medicine check?
I mean...
Have you seen somebody get their arm broken like that? Like,
His arm's
it's
pretty
clean.
obviously broken.
Okay.
I've watched that happen. It's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
It's probably very painful.
Yeah, that's why cops do it.
Cops love hurting people.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. You're a saint.
And Croc was like, "Alright, that'll be 1 pouch of gold, thank you."
He sighs and hands you the pouch of gold.
I'm sorry, you're not insured.
Yeah.
Your insurance
Insurance
provider
is-
doesn't cover an out-of-network lizard man.
That's my wife arm.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Alright. He sighs with relief as the pain is no longer racking through his body. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't recommend going toe to toe with someone like that anymore.
I didn't know him. I mean, I usually keep an eye on the guy's guards, you know, Estevan's guards, but he's a new guy.
Yes, that's how they get you.
Freaking jerk. Just trying to get enough to freaking
Merchant
get something
guard's
to
not
eat.
even one smash.
He's a real asshole.
I like to think because the voice is the same, is that this was Heathcliff undercover.
The problem, you know, the worst part of it, his freaking crow's feet wrinkles like my ball sack. Son
I
of a
don't
bitch.
like that.
I hate him. Jerks. Estevan's guards suck.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
But he does thank you. Cradling, no longer, he still sort of favors his arm, it's tender, but it's no longer broken. As he's like, last time I go to that damn stall, deal with that guard. Alright. You've proven yourself. Indeed, now, what? You return after your shift and you rest and retire for the evening. Just got at least another day of stuff and planning that you can do. As you realize he is indeed going out on the Sunday. He's heading to the library. Like I said, for some reason, it's the Planar Chronicles. Place he goes every month or so. What would you like to do?
Smoke weed.
Every day. Well, if nobody else wants to do anything, you can prepare the final plan. You know he's heading out for a little while on the upcoming Sunday.
Sunday.
Man, I miss that shit.
Sunday. Alright, well. If that's the case, if everyone's ready, we can do it next week with you getting together on that Sunday and figuring out some sort of heist.
Nice.
Or break-in
We're
or
gonna-
something.
We're gonna break in while he's gone, find the scourge, and get out. Simple enough to me.
Possibly.
No, we're not just gonna find Scourging. I'm gonna loot this motherfucker. I'm stealing shit.
Well,
Also,
that's what Heathcliff wants.
Stealing that shit.
I mean, I thought our basically our plan was just in the early morning go, unless Connor learns what time he's gonna be going out.
It's a Sunday.
Well, also we probably shouldn't attack him. We probably should not attack him at the library because we don't know who else will be there. We're probably better
What I
off
was
attacking him
thinking-
at
You can still go check out the library.
Yeah, that's true.
What I was thinking was that Connor could like create a diversion at the caravan, like as he's guarding the caravan, that'll pull guards off the compound, and we can just kind of have free run of the place.
Because you can go further inspect like the library because you're not even sure how far the library is away. Honestly, you know it's pretty close, but pretty close could be like a mile or 10 miles. Is well, it's all relative in Sigil because it's a big place. But you can do that.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Does someone want to go to the library, or the same? Are the five of us that are doing it?
We can go as a group.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the library. Fuck.
Okay.
Library.
Okay. You look for the Planar Chronicles, and it's not too hard to find that it is maybe 3 miles away. located right at the edge of the cleric's ward. It's basically the ward where they undertake like the general, like, you know, clerical work of the city and government stuff. It's right at the edge, and it is a very impressive, quite large building made of very fine sort of white stone. Large sort of windows allowing bright light during the day, sort of this faux sunlight of Sigil to stream in. That being said, it doesn't look like there's a lot of people sort of walking around. It doesn't look like it's, you know, like a public library, if you know what I'm saying. Doesn't have sticky-fingered, like, 5-year-olds running around it looking for the latest Blippy book, you know? It's more of like a scholarly institution. One that holds all sorts of records, tales, and various books from across all the planes.
Describe these tales. Are they fluffy?
Oh yeah. They also end in this weird, conical, like, rubber insertion thing.
Good.
Good.
Oh god.
It's flared at the base.
Good.
Gotta safety first.
Who is in this library?
Looking at it, you can see it looks like just the general way that people are dressed. It looks like they're either maybe some sort of government official or high-ranking merchants and things like that. Everyone here is certainly an aristocrat or noble of some sort. All seeming to have wealth, essentially. There is at a large circular desk what appears to be a very beautiful silver-haired Deva man. He holds a golden quill, and from you can see there's almost like purple ink that runs down the hollow of the quill as he's able to sort of scratch things into a very large ledger. As people walk up to his desk and ask him questions, and he silently sort of motions off to one side with a single wing as he writes things down in his ledger. Whenever you, but looking around, it's aristocrats, and there's like I said, a librarian, essentially. Do.
Do you guys think it's safe to ask about Esteban or no?
Probably not. Because if they know him, they might be like, hey, some people were asking about you.
It could be a thing like that. It could be like, I really don't care. Like, about, like, we could, like, depending on how we introduce ourselves, could be like, hey, you know, we're just kind of, you know, learning about the area kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, but he seems very specific in terms of like.
Sure.
I feel like the threat of alerting him at all could cause him not to show up.
Yeah, but we're I think we plan to attack him tomorrow rather than, or I guess. What time does he leave on Sunday? Do we know? Like what time in the morning he leaves?
He usually leaves in the morning, probably around first shift, and he comes back about halfway through the day.
Okay, so the shift we were going to attack on is when he'd be leaving, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, it would be in and amongst there.
Well, I mean, he's leaving on Sunday, and they would be the most. Yeah, I guess we just catch him before he leaves. So we should probably break in as the shifts are changing. Unless you guys oppose that.
That would make
that's
sense.
the time to do it. You always do it during guard changes.
That's what I'm saying. We should do it in that first guard change on Sunday morning before he leaves.
Yeah, it's like a 10-15 minute window too, so that gives us plenty of time.
Yeah. Because I don't think Heathcliff gave us a specific time when we can enter. We just get 2 hours a day to enter, meaning we can just bamf in there.
There should be plenty of time.
Well, I mean
Yeah,
that's.
I think it works.
I don't think the time matters because we're probably gonna kill him or something. But like,
Whoa, that's wow. Nah, we don't kill people. We've
Wait.
never killed anyone.
you're
Why
right.
would
we've
you
never
do that?
killed-
Now look, I don't mind if we have to kill him, but I can tell you right now, I'd rather not if we can help it. I just let him be quiet in and out and just steal his shit.
Jeez, we don't even kill.
It's a lot more fun that way.
Klaus, I am not good at that though. And neither is the rest of
That's
us.
why I'm here.
Yeah, but okay. So are you gonna go in alone?
I mean, I fucking could. I've got. Dude, I can't get. I literally cannot get below a 27 on stealth. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
good.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can avoid all the traps and get through it. And then what do we do if you get caught?
The issue isn't the stealth. The issue is the magic that doesn't care about stealth.
Yes, that's what I need to root
Unless
for.
you
is
stealth
for,
so
yeah,
hard, the magic can't.
You
see
hear
it.
as the David puts on his glasses. Can I help you? Are you looking for something? I'm more than happy to direct you to whatever you want.
Fuck.
If you're looking for books on coituses amongst the
No.
material
Well-
peoples, we do have books on that.
It would have been nice if Connor knew what.
We do have a very lovely book on BDSM called the Trauma Sutra.
I fucking hate that.
That's actually
I-
top shelf
God.
shit. That's
Damn
so
it.
good.
I was gonna say.
How
it'd
long have
be-
you been holding that one in?
That's
About
good.
5 seconds whenever I thought of it.
It would be nice if Connor had gathered what kind of books he goes to get there, if anyone knew.
You can
So that way we could look in the section that he was in.
you could try to finesse the Deva. He'd probably know.
Okay.
Finesse. Finesse. Finesse.
He hasn't. He didn't just.
Wait,
he
should I-
didn't come off openly hostile to you. He was like.
No,
"Can
I
help
know.
you?"
Hey, Mr. Talkie Person Connor, do you think you can finesse this man to telling us what aisle Esteban goes to?
I am not there, homie.
He said we go. Max said we go as a group. Oh, that's right. Connor was not there. That's right. Well, I guess.
Connor is.
Yeah, I
infiltrating.
forgot. I forgot.
Burger.
Max.
We're just
you have-
asking where he is.
No, we're asking what aisle he goes to. Can you do it, Max? You have more charisma
Oh.
than the rest of us do. I assume. I would hope so.
Yeah.
You're a fucking.
I mean,
Yeah. I have a plus
Wait.
two.
like, I've got a decent charisma, but I'm also, like,
You have higher than
edgy
a plus two.
zomblord.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter here. Colin said that because it's so fucking random. Because it's the
True.
multiverse.
They're just like, eh. We see
So
lots
whichever
of
one of-
weird shit.
Whichever one of you can talk better.
What do you have, Klaus? A plus two? Or do you have anything better than plus two?
+3.
Oh, then you go for it.
Could you point us to what the fuck is the guy's name?
Esteban.
Esteban.
I guess
Esteban.
I'll guide it.
We've
if
only
somebody
said like
wants to
27
help.
times today.
And you got guidance.
Guidance, and I assume somebody's capable of also helping.
Could you point me towards one Lord Esteban, please?
Alright.
If I'm to understand
Hey.
that he is here at the moment.
Colin, can I assist him by standing behind Klaus like a bodyguard to make him look more important?
Sure.
Yeah, stand like this.
What do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah,
like that,
you're
like
the-
that.
really,
You're the bully's sidekick friend in the high school movie.
that would probably be a strength intimidation check.
Mm. Well, I'm not proficient in it, but
But at least it's strength based.
yeah. 24.
You can see as Klaus stands there, you sort of rise up to your full height behind him, sort of crossing your arms and like flexing your shoulders a little bit to make yourself look wider as he sort of takes attention to you and says, Evans, seen you around here very much. You new, or you travel with interesting company?
Oh yes, you gotta have muscle around these parts. You know, you never know.
Why, you got a lot of enemies around here.
Oh, you never know where enemies are, especially in our line of work. But they do have business with Lord Esteban. If you could please point me towards this direction.
Fair enough. He looks nervously at the person. Alright, give me a persuasion roll with advantage and guidance.
Persuasion, can it be deception since I'm like...
Sure.
Okay.
Can it be deception since I'm dishonestly attempting to persuade him?
Yeah, exactly. My intentions are dubious.
My persuasion is being done under false pretenses.
That's a 20. 29.
You got the crit. Not that it really matters on skill
Yeah.
checks, but you do. He sort of looks at you and nods and says, "You associate of his, or?"
New and, I guess, budding partners, hopefully. If I play my cards right, you know.
Right. Well, he usually goes into the, folklore sections. He's got
Ah, right.
one book in particular. He keeps he pays me to make sure it's kept on hold at all times.
What would that be?
There's, like I said, folklore section, little bit called Legends of the Sands.
Sounds intriguing.
Honestly, amongst the books there, probably one of the less interesting ones. You got the wealth of legends across the multiverse. He always goes back to the same one.
What
I
is
think-
the subject of that book in
We're
particular?
about to find a fucking drug drop.
Tales, legends about prophecies about desert.
No, it's gonna be like John Wick 3 when he goes to the New York Library, gets that book on Russian folklore, and takes like all of his shit out of it. It's gonna be like a safe.
But it deals in legends and prophecies and the like.
Claude should have gone full
Interesting.
Zap Brannigan on it and said, "Sounds sexy."
Yeah, can you put me to the Dalai Lama Sutra? That's what I'm looking for.
Boy,
Tibetan smut.
it's just them sitting in place. But he says, but he's like, oh, that's the one. It's, always going back to the one like says prophecies, legends about desert somewhere.
I appreciate the help.
I don't think he's
when is
coming
he
in
not? Yeah,
today, so.
Okay, so he might not be in the folklore section right now.
Oh no, he hasn't been in
Well-
today. And if he hasn't arrived by
Well,
then,
I
he
guess-
won't be coming.
Fair enough. I guess I can see about this prophecy book while I'm in there.
Right. He nods his head. He motions down one of the corridors with his wings. Says, "Set direction. You'll see the folklore section." I hope you enjoy your time with the Planar Chronicles, and of course, mind your manners. Be quiet. People studying and doing significant works here.
I
Of
stick
course, I will be on my best behavior.
close to Klaus so I can take to the bodyguard persona.
All right. The Planar Chronicles is not brimming full with people, but those that you do see are a varied and wild assortment, from humans and elves and dwarves to tieflings, strange sort of plant-like people. You can even see what appears to be a triton that wears a specialized suit that has flowing water around it. all these people are sitting quietly at tables with ever-burning orbs of beautiful light that can dim and brighten to whatever particular light they desire as they read over books. You make your way to the folklore section, and it's not much like the rest of the Chronicles. It's not exactly packed. There's a couple of gnomes that are basically sitting cross-legged looking at a tome of strange schematics. And then you search through the stacks until you do find Legends of the Sands, a well-worn copy, but well taken care of. The leather binding remains oiled and supple. Looking into the book, it is actually, you can see it's actually Legends, Prophecies, and Parables for Al-Qadim, for Al-Mubtahij, or not fucking Mubtahij, Beaz Kum Lahar, going back to some old stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we went back to the 90s there
Yeah.
for a second.
So I'm gonna look for anything relating to our prophecy.
Roll an investigation check. Not bad.
Actually, reliable talent is 17.
Alright. You sort of move through the pages, and as you open it, the spine sort of cracks. Pretty good investigation check. You see that there are some pages more worn than others. These pages in particular deal with the Mantis Queen and the Strands of Fate. As you look through it, it seems that he constantly there is a well-worn crease in the pages as you open it to what appears to be depictions or drawings on the pages. You can see that of basically there is a depicting of the Mantis Queen. She sits with her varied arms weaving and creating and cutting the fabric of fate. And you can see all these tapestries wrap through her arms, and they seem to form a bubble or a shield around something in front of her.
He's paranoid about us. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
He's what we're paranoid about. I mean, we're what he's paranoid about.
Oh, he knows we're coming because he knows about the prophecy.
Yeah, that's why he's
That
always
makes
been
sense.
paranoid, because he's gonna die.
Oh my
And he's
God.
But
Well, Greek tragedy. The more he tries to avoid it,
Shit, I'm next. It's me.
Do
There
I
is-
see in these drawings any depictions of just like a follower of her?
Ooh.
look,
Yeah, who ostensibly Alec-Pool.
looking
It's
at
hella cool, but they race changed him because Hollywood.
sort of this having drawn your attention, you begin sort of moving through the pages
He's a dwarf.
and looking at the various tapestries or that have been inscribed on the various pages, sort of drawn. You can see that there is one that depicts what appears to be a sort of long, winding thread that ends in a needle. And there is a set of what appears to be iron shears of some sort on one page. A pretty standard, depiction of like the threads of fate and the sort of severing of fate and things like that. It's pretty standard depictions of things. The tools of the Mantis Queen, cutting and weaving fate. And then you sort of look at this thread that sort of weaves itself in amongst the tapestry. It looks like it's like a thread of fate with a needle on the end of it. And then it gets to the page, and with the depiction of this Mantis Queen basically shielding or forming some sort of covering around a figure. And you can just make out what appears to be a humanoid figure that is standing in and amongst like swirling snows and that sort of thing. It looks like a depiction of a humanoid that is standing with a some sort of glowing crystal ball of some sort. You see a picture of a humanoid that stands over what appears to be a large squid-like creature that's laying slain.
Is it just pictures of us?
Looks like pictures of Alec Cool.
Oh, just Alec Cool.
He's so cool.
He is cool. Depictions of things that he has done.
I'll hit him up with the
Good going,
fucking
champ.
earring. There's the word I was looking for. Hey, it looks like you've got the secret to mine from like years ago. I want to come check this thing out.
Sure. I'll go check it out. 'Cause I followed them to the library, but I definitely just like was gonna hang back. But yeah, I'll go check it out.
There is, whenever you check it out, you're able to discern a fair amount more, as there's various teachings within your hive you would have received that obviously, Klaus would not have. Because Klaus is straight up retarded anyway, so that's why he made deals with Vecnas.
I
Vecnas.
can't
Multiple
keep playing.
Vex.
I gotta head out, guys.
Yeah.
I took out a
Alright.
second mortgage
See you
on my
later.
Vecna.
Yeah, we're probably close to dead
Me-
anyways, Max.
Yeah.
He's already gone.
Oh, well, whatever. Fuck him anyways.
I know, right? Fuck him.
Send him back to hell.
Yeah.
You.
Can we get store credit with Satan for Ventus Soul?
Yeah, I know, right?
What a sentence.
Can we get everything we
Back
traded back?
Yeah, we
for?
talked a lot of shit earlier, but
All right. Looking at it, you can see. Give me a religion check with advantage.
I'm not good at religion.
Me either, bud.
I can help, I guess.
Oh, I
I
got
know if,
advantage, so
You can
Well-
also guidance yourself.
That's good.
I will guidance myself. Well, I rolled a baseline of a 15,
I guidance myself all the time.
and guidance is a D4. Wow, 17.
Within the interweaving sort of tapestries that are depicted on these pages, you do see there is indeed the main thing that he was looking at was apparently something. The Mantis Queen maybe shielding something with fate or something with destiny, sort of wrapping it almost like in this tapestry that is impenetrable to some sort of. It almost looks like it's shielding someone, but you are able to see the depictions of the like iron shears and the threads of fate are interwoven oftentimes within this within these actual depictions. They're not always obvious. Sometimes they're in borders, sometimes they're in patterns that are on the edge and things like that, but they're interwoven in between it. This beautiful, this sort of interlocking motif of the thread of fate and the shears that cut that thread.
And it looks like depictions of me otherwise for the most part.
It is depictions of things that you have done. There's a crack in there, you're pretty sure. There's you in the snow. Even though it's not depicting you with 4 arms, it's just a humanoid. It's just... it's things you have done.
Yeah.
Wait, is he race changed?
Is he race changed?
Because that would be hilarious.
It's like a silhouette.
It's just like a vague, like, humanoid
like an
type
impression.
thing. Yeah.
It's an impressionist painting.
But he simply
It's the impression of Alicool's balls on the fucking.
You suspect that the interweaving thread motif on this may, as you look at it, you can see it ends with the humanoid that has both the thread in one hand and the shears in the other. And you get the feeling that the thread ostensibly may very well be this thread of fate that you're looking for, and the shears may very well be the mantis claw.
Okay.
Both relics of the Mantis Queen. Likely just like the actual, Mantis Claw is a fairly powerful relic. Odds are that the threads are in the actual thread is as well. You understand? And it's likely if the Mantis Claw is depicted as something that can sever the threads of fate, the needle is something that can kind of build it and change it. So, if he were able to weave the tapestry of fate, he could make bad deals become good deals by changing things.
Yeah, so
He's
he's
make
been
good deals become bad deals.
So he's likely been using this, is one of the reasons why he got so rich, is he was able to use this thread to enter into, or he would enter into bad deals, and he would use the thread to nudge and weave fate into something that changed it for the good, for him.
okay. Well,
And I will say, just looking at it, he seems, like I said, it's been all opened repeatedly to the one page with depicting this person or humanoid shielded in fate. It's been opened over and over again, as he's dwelled on it and doted on it and worried over it.
well,
You might just be our ticket to getting this
Yeah.
done smoothly there, Alico.
well, if the shielded one is me, then that means that everyone else is in an incredible amount of danger with the weapon he has.
It's being able to alter the threads of fate is dangerous.
Pretty pog.
Yeah,
reasonably rad.
reasonably
Reasonably
rad.
rad.
If person isn't actual butthole demon.
Butthole demons do exist though in this society.
It's true.
Yeah.
The dream.
Wait till you see my butthole bubbles.
Show me.
All right. How do you
Get a
feel?
hold of my Beelzebub.
How do you feel about ghosts?
All
All right.
Weaver, I need you to go back to Catholic school. Thank you. Back to Sunday school.
I need Beaver. I need you to get a tramp stamp that just has an arrow pointing at your ass, and above the arrow it
This
says
way to
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Would it be Beelzebub or Beelzebum?
Debatable.
Well, you could do Beelzebub. Like,
Or you could do the Beelzebub.
I'll do Beelzebub if I'm ever in the UK.
You could do
Beelzebub.
Beelzebubble.
Ooh,
No,
that's
that'd
strong.
be Elza Arse.
If you-
Beelzebubble.
Beaver, if you ever go to the UK, are you gonna ever say you want to bum a fag and then sort of raise your eyes suggestively?
Oh no, Rick. For the UK, it'd be Meph Arstophiles.
Holy shit! I love it.
All
I'm
right,
too good at these. I don't know why.
you indeed, like I said, get some more very pertinent information to Estevan, his views, how he has become what he is, what he's afraid of, what he dwells on, what he travels out over and over again to look at, this book, and the books sort of surrounding it about prophecy, legend within Baz Kumlahar, specifically ones on fate and the Mantis Queen and the like that, and he looks at prophecies and things like that, and this prominent prophecy of a shielded one that is shielded or hidden or guarded by the tapestry of fate. And that's how it's depicted in the book, at least. Or it feels like it's depicted in the book. Prophecy has a way of being kind of squiffy, you know?
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
You've already seen that in, you know, Magdan's prophecy and things like that. It's not always straightforward. But, yeah,
Sometimes gay backwards.
that is what you learn. Other than that, there's not really anything that you learn from here. I mean, you learned a lot from here, so you don't learn more from here. And you step
Learning.
away. Like I said, you're gonna have essentially you have one day where you're gonna have entrance for 1 hour because it's, you know, gonna be the Saturday. That he is not leaving, and on the Sunday, you know, he will be leaving. So, you can think about what you want to do, and I guess we'll do that next week. You, like I said, feel free to plan stuff. I mean, outside the game, I'm fine with that. Obviously, you can just tell me what you want to do. I mean, nobody is, but we'll figure it out next week.
Prepare stuff.
We'll figure it out next week. As you do what?
My very important question is: does anybody send Ito a message about the library discovery?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we find out that
Everyone-
Pool has a
it's all
secret
fun and
admirer
games till
from-
we find out that you break in and you say, "Oh my God, it's a guard," and you kill Ito.
Good.
He was a guard. He
I mean,
deserved to die.
Grabs hold of Klaus as the dagger is plunged into his stomach and goes, "Not again."
But yeah,
Whoops.
we'll pick it up next week. Like I said, think about what you want to do. Like I said,
Hashtag my bad.
this happened at the end of essentially Friday. And so you're gonna go into a Saturday, and you'll have a day in the compound, and then Sunday you'll have a day in the compound. And you know he's supposed to be heading out on that Sunday. However, like I said, you don't. That doesn't mean the defenses are gone, but you know, you'll have to figure it out then. We'll pick it up next week, I guess.
I do like figuring stuff out.